You know, I got a lot done this year, it feels like. Got some projects going, been to the theater more than I have in a few years, been writing a lot, thanks in no small part to the writing group we have going now. Started antidepressants, so that was fun. And that's all not even talking about the fact that I got married, which is incredible and nice. And yet, I come to this point in the year, and it feels like this has just kind of been a weird year all the same. Do you get what I mean?
No.
Okay.
I'll probably need you to elaborate. Well, I mean, it's pretty vague.
Yeah,
I guess.
I come to this point in the year of this our yearly chat at the end of our seasons, and normally I have some amount of solid footing into what I'm going in with it with. Either I'm very, I have a certain outlook on where things are going, or I have some negative nonsense to talk about, after everything with the COVID year and everything. We obviously decried that a whole lot. In this case, though, I don't know what to put my finger on, this feeling that everything has just kind of felt a bit unsatisfied by the end of the year. And I don't know if that's like a me problem or if it's like a world problem. Because, there are certain things that have been going on socioeconomically, at least in our own country, that have made things feel a little weird. That feels painfully obvious. But even outside of that, I try to look at the movie scope, the kind of movie universe that we've been dealing with in the last year, and it feels in this weird kind of negative zone where it seems like a lot of stuff is coming down the line that isn't necessarily great for all of it, and that's kind of concerning. So it makes me have...
Do you mean just in the general filmscape or the podcast specifically?
The filmscape in general. The podcast, I feel, is going just fine, all things considered.
Right.
But the filmscape as a whole, I would say, between potential acquisitions and the continued influx of AI and all these things or another, it all just feels a bit hard to defend, or at least feel optimistic about.
Well,
Even more than we have
at
previously.
A certain point, we can only... The most that we can reasonably do at this point is just actively boycott things that we are not. And I know that's easier said than done, because when it's something like an acquisition, like I know we talked, not last episode, but the episode before that, the It Happened One Night episode about the Netflix buying Warner Brothers thing, or at least the bid to buy Warner Brothers. And that's a bit harder. It's a bit farther reaching. If that is something that really bothered you and you wanted to boycott it, it's one of those, where do you start things?
Right.
AI sort of depends, because at least currently it's relatively easy to tell, and or you have to disclose that you use it, and you can sort of boycott that to a degree. Now, it's going to get to a point probably where that's not going to be the case, and we're just going to be trapped in hell, but push where we can, I guess.
Yeah. And I think I guess that is kind of the headspace I'm in, is that recognition that a lot of it is just kind of inevitable and unfeasible to do anything against. And this being probably the year I've steeped myself in more creative projects than I ever have before, at least trying to insert myself more into kind of the creative landscape, seeing how so much of the creative landscape is being actively fought against by from a lot of different angles, it's just very depressing. Of just anything from just the basic artistic scene of just online and everything, of just people's works being stolen outright left and right from different AI groups, and all the care they have to go to just to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. And it just feels hard to want to look into it more, despite the fact of I've been enjoying it. I've been enjoying being creative again, and doing so in the midst of what feels like not the apocalypse, but certainly a stage shift for the creative arts is just kind of sad, And God knows this whole show has been the long process of recognizing how at least one creative medium has changed over the decades. And I worry that a lot of stuff going forward isn't going to be much better. And even compared to how we normally go, where normally it's just, it's one cash grab after another. Now it just kind of feels like it's barely even using that as justification. It's just we're just going to steal people's money and creative works for no other reason than we can. And it's like the horrible mutated version of a remake is anything AI generated,
Yeah, I guess we just got to have our own footing as far as that goes. Which we already do have some well defined
That's
rules
fair.
that I guess we operate in,
Mm-hmm.
and we're I know we've said it before and it's beaten a dead horse, but we are not devoid of things to talk about. Even in, I know that's a later part of the end of year discussion, but even next year,
Yeah.
which at least from an early look, there's a lot that I'm excited about in 2026.
Yeah.
But there are definitely still, podcast fodder things coming out as well.
Mm-hmm. And I don't mean to like bring the mood down so quickly with all of it. It's just, it is very much one of
Yeah,
those.
what the hell?
It is just very much one of those things of, there are times whenever we go into these where I just have something at the forefront of my mind that I need to get out. And I try not to let that set the tone, at least for myself, on the way through it. And I feel like that one especially was just kind of, hey, this is hard not to be thinking about, and I'd like to at least have that as something on the mind for this whole, as it is itself kind of a reflection of where things have been and where they're going. That is the whole point of this episode. And
Right.
it's kind of hard not to think about those things when, especially in the last month or two, they've been so part of the public zeitgeist. And so I definitely will be moving away from the negative topics throughout this. It's just definitely felt like, hey, this feels like you kind of have to bring it up at least a little. May as well do it now. With my head being in such a weird space about it. So, that all said, there's a lot this past year even. Like, I haven't looked too much ahead for, movies coming up and productions coming up. But this past year, I really did recognize, I've probably been to the theater more this last year than I have in the last 2 or 3 combined. And pretty much everything I saw was pretty damn good. And that's honestly surprising.
Great. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
I guess before we jump too deep into the 2025 it would probably be prudent to do a brief retrospective of the podcast for 2025 in general.
Yes, of course.
Just best, worst, surprising,
Usual.
what was the best original, best remake? Yeah, all the things that we normally talk about. Because there was a lot.
Yeah.
We bounced all around this year, and I'm very happy for that.
There were definitely some that I am glad we moved on from pretty quickly, but I think we did we got about as well-rounded of a year as we've ever gotten, it feels like.
Yeah.
That said, I'm kind of glad I don't have to think about something like the original Casino Royale again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, get it full on out of there. But I got to watch a lot of things for the first time that I'm really happy I saw. Like, it happened one night, and Chinatown, and The French Connection, and Cape Fear, both versions of Cape Fear.
Yeah, true.
I don't even remember what my total opinion on all of those movies were, but I can at least say that those are like bucket list items that I'm glad I finally sat down and watched.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, God, yeah, I'm going back through our list and I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of things I never thought I'd get a chance to see, and here we are. It's surprising even that we were able to get so much mileage out of this year. Now that I think about it, I'm like, man, we managed to get, of all things, Wages of Fear and Sorcerer. It's like, how the fuck would anyone come up with that one?
Wages of Fear and Sorcerer. Oh my god, that was this year?
No, I'm sorry, that was last year. My bad.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I was about to have a conniption.
I scrolled too far. See, that's where my head's already at. Yes, the first one of this year was Mean Girls with Hannah.
Marty.
Huh? I think it was, well, on here it was
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was Mean Girls.
Oh, I know why. Yeah, Mean Girls was posted at the end of the year last year because it was our final episode. That's why it's marked 116.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But I think I updated the thumbnail because Hannah gave me.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
So, yeah.
Yep, sorry, it was Marty this year. Then my bad. My God, my head is so all over the place already.
No, that's fine. I was confused for a second too because I see it on the Spotify list.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm drawing from. But yeah, no, it was Marty was the first one this year, which I completely forgot about that one. My God.
Mm-hmm. It sort of came from an original idea I had for theming my year because I've tried and failed to theme the podcast the years in the past on the podcast. This year was probably the closest I came where I was like, I'm going to do best picture releases. Mm-hmm. So I was able to get Marty, The French Connection, let's see, Chinatown, Mutiny on the Bounty, and It Happened One Night. So that's like 5. That's close. That's 5 of 8.
I mean, it doesn't help that we've done so many of the other ones already.
Yeah, we've done The Godfather and The Godfather Part 2. We did The Departed. Yeah, so we certainly Hamlet. We did a couple beforehand. I had I'll say it now on the episode, Gigi I had planned as one as well, because one of those, I forget which one. One of the Gigis won for Best Picture, but for the life of me, I could not find the other version available anywhere for us to watch. And I was like, well, we can't make this an episode.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that. You texted me about it, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think I last minute replaced it with Open Your Eyes and Vanilla Sky.
Oh yeah, I think that was the one, because we watched one of them for the movie night, I think, didn't we?
We did, which was funny because Steph put out the poll of like confusing movies or movies she was told she had to see that are supposed to be confusing. And the minute she put it out, I was like, this is so funny because literally Stuart and I are doing an episode on that in 2 weeks.
Perfect.
So I had already planned on doing it, and then she's like, hey, let's watch this for the movie nights. And that might be our shortest episode ever.
Yeah, that one.
That episode.
That one even. Is it really? I thought I thought The Mummy was shorter.
The Mummy? How long? The Mummy is 2 seconds away from being an hour. Open Your Eyes, Vanilla Sky was 53 minutes.
Wow. All right. Fair enough. God. Yeah. Yeah. That one, like, I mean, I'm not even sure what to say about either of those movies, you know? Even thinking back on it, I'm like, I didn't hate them or anything, but there just wasn't really a whole lot to talk about at a certain point.
I still stand by, even though I saw Vanilla Sky a couple, 2 months, 3 months before I decided we were going to do the episode on it. I still count that as probably my most surprising, because I still think that's the best performance Tom Cruise has ever given in a movie.
Yeah, imagine Tom Hanks in that.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I don't think he'd be right for the part.
I mean, yeah, obviously. Still, that's funny. Yeah, I don't know what I'd call my most surprising one, honestly. Because surprising can also be a negative connotation.
No, for sure. Like, Cinderella 2015 was also surprising to me, because I was kind of mixed on it, but I was like, I walked away from it being, this might very well be the best Disney remake that has ever been made, is the 2015 Cinderella.
That's fair.
Just because there's, like, a vision that Kenneth Branagh had behind it.
It's Kenneth Branagh, so, you know. I think, well...
Sure.
Well, the one that has to take the objective most surprising for me has to be the 1967 Casino Royale, for the simple fact of...
I knew you were going to say
I didn't know it was going to be a parody going into it, and then it was, and I was like, okay, I can see why this one isn't talked about so much. Yeah, that one was weird, and...
But God, that cast!
The cast was insane. I will give it that. It was about as stacked as a cast can get, and as far as performances go, they were all fantastic. But, good lord, it's just hard to really kind of... It barely stood still long enough for me to have an opinion on it, you know?
Right.
So yeah, that one's definitely the most surprising, just based on its own, on just that whole premise. Beyond that, though, if I had to think of another surprising one, just for like another reason other than that, honestly, I would say the Two Jakes, for the simple reason of it feels like it took the formula of Chinatown and just really just fumbled it. You know, it was surprising how much they just didn't do it correctly, despite the fact that it was supposed to be the exact same style, but they just didn't. Like that's as surprising as anything else. I know it's trying to follow up with Chinatown is, you know, its own hell, but God, it just, the fact that they added like the whole, you know, narration thing and just how much Jack Nicholson as an actor has changed at that point. It just feels like he's not slumming it, but he just doesn't seem to give as much of a shit. I don't know. That one was surprising in the negative sense for sure. So
I'm curious how you what you feel about the remakes. What might be the best remake that we covered? Because I think that the most obvious glow ups, for me at least, are probably Nosferatu and the Bourne Identity.
Yeah.
But Cinderella definitely is like sneaking in there as well.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, I'm not going to count Casino Royale just because their differences are so
Yeah,
intense. If it,
I can't even comprehend.
Yeah, so I won't count that one. But yeah, I'm probably in the same boat as you with it being. I'm leaning towards the Bourne Identity for the simple fact of it actually feels like a coherent movie. You know,
Yeah.
I have to give so much. I have to give a lot of credit to the original because simply for the fact of it does so much, but it just does so much that it becomes a confusing mess by the end. But it does still feel. I like that era of kind of like. I'm pretty sure it was if it was either a limited series or a TV movie or whatever. But I do like that era of thriller pieces of just kind of. It feels like they're just having fun with just going to different settings and everything, and they're just able to have dramas wherever they want. And it's like, you know what? I respect that. It's hard not to see the effort put on display, but just the fact that it's just the Bourne Identity is famous for a reason. It kind of defined the modern spy thriller in one way or another. And even outside of that, it just action films in general. And it's not hard to see why. So yeah, that would probably be
Right.
at least the best glow up on its own. Yeah, I'd say that would be it.
Okay. And then for another one, it's funny because these are back-to-back episodes we both flubbed, but which is the worst remake? Is it Fantastic Four or is it That Most Dangerous Game from
Most Dangerous Game,
22?
easily. Like,
Because both of those, at least one does have production quality,
Yeah.
but I think it irritates me more.
yeah,
So I couldn't decide.
One was just kind of boring with Fantastic Four. It was clear that they just didn't have a coherent enough plot to go with all their production value. The other one was just bad.
Yeah.
It was just like, let's just have the budget of what looks to be a student film and add a lot of random backstory to the main character and just kind of butcher a lot of some of the most iconic moments from the original story and shoehorn in even more love interest stuff than the original did. Well, it's like the original had a shoehorn thing in, but the remake, it felt like it just kind of came out of nowhere. And it also for the fact of I really wanted to like certain parts of it simply for the fact of just the main villain I thought would have been great. I thought he was over the top, like having a former Nazi as the main bad guy. It's like, yeah, that's obvious. But it's just it's a kind of just it's a shooting fish in a barrel kind of thing of like, yeah, the production value was bad, the setup was bad, most of the actors were bad. It's just, yeah, no, it has to be that one for no other reason than just all of it was bad.
It's just like it's like a really interesting train wreck though. Like I could totally see myself watching it again in a context where like other people were
Oh yeah, if we're talking
present. I don't think I could do it again on my own.
Yeah, I mean, if we're talking that, absolutely. It's so stupid in so many ways that like, yeah, I would need other people to be there, but yeah, I would absolutely watch it again. Couldn't do that with Fantastic Four, obviously.
Yeah, and you're right, and like Bruce Dern is in it for like 2 minutes. Judd Nelson shows up briefly. Casper Van Dien is a great villain. Like I don't know, there's a lot going on in there.
Yeah.
Just doesn't really work.
I don't know what was going on with that thing. And also the fact that there is also another Most Dangerous Game thing, which is basically just the plot of the more recent Running Man, which is weird whenever I think back on that.
Yeah, is that surviving the game?
I'm not sure. I think it might still be called the Most Dangerous Game. It was like a series on Amazon. Like Christoph Waltz is the main like.
Oh well, then definitely.
But it is straight up the same premise as the modern, Running Man, where it's like he's given 30 days and he has to survive against a team of 5 killers. It's like, huh. But it came out during COVID, so it's like, what the hell happened here?
Yeah, well, I think we talked about it in the lead up to that episode as well. But if we're talking Most Dangerous Game, like revisits, there is literally, let's see, 13 movies that are adapted from that short story in some form or another that we could talk about. And those are just movies. That's not even including like whatever TV limited series nonsense.
It's fair. Yeah, I mean, it's a breakdown of basically the entire concept of man versus man as a story plot, of just, hey, what if two dudes what if one dude was getting hunted? It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I could make that. I could do that.
Yeah. I have done that in one way or another. No, I will not elaborate.
Okay.
My life is my own.
Cool. Not going to your island anytime soon.
Man,
I'm not on Stuart's flight logs.
oh God, please no. It's like let's not make that connotation. Christ.
Well,
I'm just hunting people for sport on my island.
the lesser of two evils.
Yeah. Oh man.
Do you have any other thoughts on this year? Like,
well, I mean, I figured we'd talk about like some of the best and worst originals as well.
Oh yeah, I hadn't even considered that, even though it's obvious.
Right.
But
I mean, because for me, like, best original almost certainly is either Chinatown or like maybe Nosferatu. At least for me, because I just happen to like those two. Chinatown was just fantastic in its own way. It's like it defined noir film, at least more in more modern years.
yeah,
I was tempted to give it to French Connection, but the whole vibe of that one just I've still never been a huge fan of. But I can recognize that it was well made. And then I'll give an honorable mention to Cape Fear as well, just because it's Cape Fear. But I think
yeah.
the firm one for me would probably be Chinatown, with Nosferatu. The original Nosferatu is close second.
It's really rough for me because I really like the French Connection. I really like Chinatown.
Mm-hmm.
I love the original Nosferatu, and It Happened One Night is like a new favorite of mine as well. So there's a lot of contenders for me for what would probably be the best. Ultimately, if it's best, probably Chinatown.
Yeah.
If it's my favorite thing that we've watched this year, it might be It Happened One Night.
Really? That's honestly surprising.
I was a big fan.
Yeah, I just didn't really care for it as much. I think just that whole genre for me is just kind of hit and miss. So yeah,
it normally is for me too. That's why it was so surprising.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, it's funny that two of these movies are also kind of similar in a weird way. The French Connection and Chinatown, just in their just like pseudo noir in one way or another. But yeah, and the fact that they're both Best Picture winners, it's like, what is it with you, Hollywood?
Well, Chinatown is definitely a play on the noir genre. Part of that, in part because it is like a period piece set in the valley.
Yeah.
But the French Connection is definitely of the time and setting the tone for the time of a lot of those 70s movies. And it's funny because the French Connection 2, The Conversation, which I'm a big fan of, and I've mentioned before, and then I recently watched Night Moves, and I liked that all right. They're all movies with starring Gene Hackman that kind of have this same vibe.
He's managed to typecast himself a little at times, it feels like.
Yeah.
Well, now I gotta ask you what you think the worst original was this year.
Oh, The Mummy.
Yeah.
I was bored to death. I was so disappointed because I had not seen... I think I actually tricked myself into thinking I had seen the original Mummy before, but when I started watching it, I was like, I definitely have not seen this. And out of all of those Universal monster pictures from back then, it is the most disappointing.
Yeah, it's about as dry as it gets. Which is weird considering how much fun the remake is. It's not a great movie by any means, but compared to the original, it's fucking it's next level. It's like plated in gold.
I still don't really care for the 99, but yeah, when we're comparing the two, it's. I think on that episode it was actually hard for me, if I remember correctly. I was like, I don't know, I don't really like either of these.
Yeah, I think
for different reasons.
I only like the one because of nostalgia more than anything. So
yeah.
For me though, I don't know if I'd give it to the Mummy explicitly. I'm honestly kind of tempted to give it to the original Marty. I honestly was like, talk about being bored. Like that one was just kind of like an hour in and out, and I was just kind of like, I don't remember any of that.
Which it's funny because 55 is a direct remake, like beat for beat, same director.
There's actual production value behind it. It feels like,
Well, sure, the original was a part of like a TV Playhouse thing. So, like the Casino Royale with Peter Lorre.
Yeah, which, we at least got an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just it's it's hard for me even for me to even remember anything about it, not least of which for the fact that it was the first one of the year. But still, like, it just wasn't good. It's just like there's so many times where I just had to tell myself like, oh, there's some wider reason for me disliking this, but other times I'm like, no, I think it was poorly made. I think just there wasn't a whole lot going on in it. So, beyond that, obviously the second up would be The Mummy for the same reasons you mentioned. It's just dull as all dirt, and the fact that it still keep trying to make lightning strike, well, for the first time actually, for that one is kind of sad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because 2026. We'll talk about that later. I'm sure. It's funny because if we look at not even abject terrible, but just originals that I wasn't a strong fan of, we'll do the 67 Casino Royale,
Yeah.
32 Mummy, the Bourne Identity from 88, and then the 1950 Cinderella. That's honestly not a bad win to lose ratio for the year. And we can toss Marty in there because you didn't care much for the original Marty, and still that's a good ratio.
Yeah, I'd say so. We didn't get a lot of horrible movies this year, which is nice.
No, really just the two that drove me crazy.
Yeah. I think like, well, there's also, if I had to add the category of most forgettable one, I'd have to say it was probably the 2011 Conan, just because of like, man, they really had nothing going for him in that one, huh?
Dude, I was putting a full circle together. I think last week, it already went live. I posted it on Bluesky already, but I was compiling clips of Ron Perlman because we've talked about him on the show so frequently, and I was like, looking back at my notes, I was like, he was in that 2011. I don't remember a single fucking thing about that movie. And I started watching the movie again, and sure enough, he's right there at the beginning. So I pulled the clip, shut it off. Hopefully, don't have to go back to that anytime soon.
Yeah.
But
it's just especially compared to the original, where it has the whole like high fantasy going thing, and Hyboria as the whole concept is like, it feels so cool. It feels like they made a D&D movie before D&D, and they did it very well. Like they just took it seriously and just had fun with it. And the remake is just so goddamn generic. It's like, how do we get to this point? It sucks.
It's that sort of gritty realism and muddy camera work that
Yeah.
I guarantee you was at least partially inspired by the Clash of the Titans remake, which came out like, 1-2 years before this?
Probably.
I think that had a huge hand in it because I really didn't like that movie, but it was a decent success.
Yeah. It at least had cool visuals going for it. Conan didn't have shit. Like, it had big CG environments, but they weren't memorable at all. The main villain's whole shtick was basically immediately forgettable. It's like, thinking about the Clash of the Titans thing, at least they had the Kraken. Like, the Kraken ruled in that one.
To be fair, Clash of the Titans had fantasy elements.
Yeah, it had fantasy. It had fantasy.
2011 kind of sort of had a witch. It's confusing.
Yeah. And it feels like even the fantasy things that happen in the original one are kind of meant to be more of, rather than drawing attention to it, it's just kind of like, oh, this is just a normal part of the world. And then anything that had fantasy elements in the 2011 one did draw too much attention to itself, where it's like, okay, this goes from feeling like it's part of the world to just feeling like it's shoehorned in. And so it just isn't well balanced. It's just, I don't know.
No.
I don't know why, if you're going in there to do such a distinct IP, why you have to change it that much. Because I think on its own, Jason Momoa would have been great as the character, but it's just like the story did him no favors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, poor bastards. Glad we're not getting more of those.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah, we're going to see,
at least for now.
We're going to see Jason Momoa and whatever, all the other bullshit he's going to be doing, like from Lobo the Bounty Hunter to, like, what is it, Blanca in the Street Fighter movie?
I'd call it Street Fighter.
Nice.
I don't know why people are so excited about that cast. I have seen nothing that gives me any hope for that to even be goofy fun. I don't care what the outfits look like. I will say, give me an actual teaser that shows off a bit more.
Yeah,
and maybe then I'll make some sort of decision. But just because I don't know, the original Mario movie, those costumes are interesting. You know,
If anything, the color scheming and everything it seems like they're going with seems like they're going to try to have fun with it. Which is like, you know what? Sure. Street Fighter as an IP is already kind of ridiculous, so you may as well just go to 11 with it.
if it's not washed out, that'll be something.
Yeah.
And I don't mind if it's ridiculous. It's just I'm worried that they're showing all their cards up front and it's just going to be really bland. But
I mean, it probably will be, but
we'll see.
Listen, if the Mortal Kombat movie was able to do decently well, then, you know, I give them some amount of credit.
Fuck, we got to talk about that.
Oh, God, we do.
At some point.
If only because it means I have to watch the original one again.
We could be watching Annihilation. It's not so bad.
Fair. That's honestly fair.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Do you want to migrate from the podcast and just talk about the year in general? Because
why
it
not?
sounds like you saw a ton of decent things in the theaters.
I saw a fair bit. More than I normally have previously, at least, which is nice. And whether it's in
Do you want to start from the top,
Sure.
going down since we saw one together in January?
Yeah, sure. That was the Sonic one, right?
Yeah, Sonic
Yeah,
3.
that I keep forgetting that was this year. Holy shit. That was
Yeah.
God, that's weird, man. Yeah, that's I mean, shit, man. What do I say about it? It was Sonic 3. It was great.
I like these movies. I don't care how dumb they
Yeah,
are. They're dumb in a way that they're having fun with it. You could tell that the people behind the movies have some fondness for the characters in the world.
Yeah, I'm still baffled by the fact that this is a thing that just exists in my adult life as an IP, as a thing that I can go to the theater watch. And the fact that it also isn't horrible. Like, it's not high art, obviously. They're all silly. But the fact that they're silly in a way that's still enjoyable and, like, also still has a lot of heart, I'm like, oh, it's like the best versions of Sonic already. Wild.
Yeah.
It's like, rarely are they high art, but always they are fun and full of heart on their own, so.
Exactly. And hey, I mean, not only is Sonic 4 coming in 2027,
Jesus.
but we're supposed to be getting some sort of spin-off movie in 2028 that will open us up to the Sonic universe.
Oh, no.
And I don't know what that means.
I'm guessing...
I have no idea.
I'm guessing they've been teasing enough about Sonic's world at this point that Sonic 4 is going to have them go to that world, and everything subsequent from there is going to take place in that world.
That would be fun. I want to see more of the characters that I care about. And obviously, at the end of every single movie, they tease a character coming. The last one was Amy. And you know what? I said it after we left the theater, and Jim Carrey in an interview proved me right. He's like, yeah, if the script is interesting, I'll come back as Robotnik. It's like, I think he died, but if you've read the Sonic comics, that doesn't mean shit.
Fair.
I could totally see Robotnik coming back again and again and again.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely is one of those things where I'm like, I don't really know how to feel about that. Because, like, yeah, they made a pretty definitive thing of him dying in this one compared to even the previous one. So I just don't know how to feel about that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Because it feels like we're also cheating on this one, since this one did technically release last year. But, you know, I saw it in the theaters this year, so it counts.
We saw it this year, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the... I truly don't have a whole lot I can say about it. It was ridiculous. They played Live and Learn from Sonic Adventure 2, and that's literally all I cared about. It got a 10 out of 10 in my book for that reason.
Yes.
Ugh.
Maybe for Sonic 4, you know what? I would like it if we go in a direction where Robotnik is involved without having to be the main villain, because that's what the past decade and a half of Sonic games have been. It's like Robotnik is
He's usually
an initial villain that opens up a doorway to a bigger villain. He just constantly does that.
He's the inciting action more than anything else.
Yeah, he's a dipshit that can't control himself.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Oh.
Now I'm trying to think back like other things that came out this year. Oh yeah, the Minecraft movie came out this year. Bad. Next question.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, I saw that this year. It was a waste of time. I feel bad that I added to that domestic gross.
Me too. If I can talk about some horror briefly, I have a couple horror things that I mean, I saw some bad horror this year, don't get me wrong. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, The Home, Black Phone 2, which was disappointing. Like, I saw a number of those things, but Final Destination Bloodlines was all right, but it was at least fun, and it was a step in the right direction for that franchise. Weapons was good, the follow-up from Zach Kreger.
Oh, yeah.
I had a lot of fun with that. The Monkey,
I did end up actually...
which was the Oz Perkins joint.
I did end up getting to see that eventually. I don't know if I ever talked about it on the show, but yeah, that was fun.
Which one?
The Monkey.
Oh, you did? Okay, The Monkey.
Yeah, I
wasn't sure if there was lag and you're talking about...
I was able to find it online, so I was like, okay, cool, I'll just watch it.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. It just did whatever it wanted to, and that was great. And then one that I haven't gotten... 28 Years Later, which... in spite of not really looking forward to whatever the fuck the Bone Temple is and whatever the third one is supposed to be, I thought that 28 Years Later on its own was a good movie. I liked it a lot. And
still haven't seen
one that I didn't get a chance to talk about because I only saw it in between the last episode and this record, Good Boy.
Oh,
which
yeah.
It's not great. It's a whatever story, but fuck me if that dog doesn't deserve an Oscar because that might be the best animal performance I've ever... I know it's a combination of editing and just really good training, but fuck, give that dog an award. Give it a statue at the ceremony.
That's the stuff I heard about.
I've never seen a performance like that from an animal.
That's wild. Huh. I definitely need to watch that one, if only for that very reason.
Yeah, I liked it. It's on Shudder.
Not since the original The Thing, have we had such a good dog actor.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man. I'm just going through. You can keep talking about things you've seen. I'm trying to remember shit from this year, so I'm going by through the release list.
Oh, sure. Yeah, you don't have the letterbox setup that I have.
Nope.
Sinners, of course, was fantastic.
Yep.
I'm glad I got a chance to see that in the theaters. It definitely seems like one of those that didn't get a lot of trailers. I'm lucky that I go to the theaters as often as I do, so I was able to see a promo for it. Otherwise, I would have missed it and had to watch it at home, and I would have been disappointed. Yeah, we talked at length about that on an episode already. I don't have anything else to say.
We did, yeah.
Sinners,
and I've obviously also seen
I
it.
loved that.
Yep. It was about as good as it gets for that sort of film. So.
Mm-hmm. You saw it before me. You and Steph both saw it, and you were talking about it at the record, and I was like, I cannot contribute because I have tickets for this Saturday.
Yeah. Nice.
I have 2 days left, or 3 days left to see it.
Sure.
So. The Phoenician scheme was all right.
I happen to like that one a lot.
I liked it. I liked it more than Asteroid City, at least.
I think I put it on par with Asteroid City. I think Asteroid City has a better overall theming to its whole scheme. I think to its whole film. I think Phoenician Scheme just on its own is just a bit more fun, but as it is, I think they balance out pretty even for me.
Yeah, Phoenician Scheme is a more cohesive traditional story, whereas Asteroid City has deliberate layers to it. So it has to rely on theming for a lot of its storytelling. The only other thing worth mentioning that I watched this year, a lot of what I watched this year was either meh or garbage.
Yeah.
Looking at the theater list, the only other thing, One Battle After Another, fantastic, probably the best thing that I saw this year.
Really,
great movie from PTA.
I need to watch that one. I keep hearing good things about it, but I remember it just not getting a whole lot of love when it came out. So I just assumed it would be kind of not great, but apparently not.
It's fantastic. Just Leonardo DiCaprio running against the clock to save his daughter from militants. It is a very political movie, a very of the current era movie.
You know what? I can see why people may not have wanted to watch it, like at the time.
No, I get it. Sean Penn plays a racist sheriff that is desperately trying to get into this white man's club. It's basically like a KKK offshoot called the Christmas Club, or something like that. The Christmas Adventurers Club. That's what it's called. It's a very funny movie too. I liked it.
That has the ridiculous kind of title that tells me that sort of club absolutely would exist. You know, the fact that the KKK has wizards as one of their ranks tells me, yeah, no, that's absolutely something that could actually exist.
Yeah. No, I think you should see it. I do.
That one might need to be next on the list after Frankenstein. Still haven't seen that one.
I still got to see it too. Someone actually tried to talk to me about it the other day at Christmas, and I was like, I have not watched it. I got to find a good way to watch it because I cut off Netflix a while ago. Mm-hmm. I'll find a way. I always find a way.
I got to start finding ways of getting around certain things, but I won't be detailing it, FBI.
Oh my lord! Don't do that.
Like I'm probably just gonna get Netflix again, honestly. Which I say that Hannah did get it recently because one of the things I did watch, which I'll talk about here in a bit. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I've pretty much finished up mine with one battle after another. Everything else, Until Dawn, Karate Kid Legends, Lilo and Stitch, Elio, like Clown in a Cornfield. Everything else I've seen is on the 3 stars or less ladder, and I really don't care to talk about it.
Fair. Cool. Yeah, I'll go through. I'm pretty much just going down the Wikipedia list of releases just to make sure I've gone through everything. Obviously, I already mentioned Minecraft movie, and I just bring that up because it was the top grossing. Bad. Didn't care for it.
Yeah.
One I at least want to mention right off, Superman. Loved it to death. I know a lot of people are kind of like mixed about it, either being kind of like, twee to the point of being cringy or whatever, but it's like, I thought it was fantastic. I think it's a return to form for DC that was really necessary, and as a result, I'm very excited for the Supergirl movie. I think that's going to be a really cool little romp.
Excited for that future episode.
Yeah, very excited.
the future Superman episode and the future Supergirl episode.
Yep. Oh god, see, that's the only reason I'm not 100% with it, because it's like, god damn it, it's just another remake, but at least it's fun and it's cool and it's doing fun stuff.
Yeah.
Dear God, does James Gunn really miss having Yondu as a character, because he basically just reinvented him for this movie. Just the entire fucking scene with it. Anyway, I could go on. Let's see.
Yeah, I still have to see it. So.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. Not a whole lot at the beginning there. Oh yeah, saw the monkey. Like I mentioned, didn't talk about it on the show or anything. I liked it. It's like a Final Destination had a sense of humor. Or at least it had more of a sense of humor, you know. I think it's just a ridiculous series of events, and sometimes that's all a movie needs to be.
Yeah.
I saw most of Mickey 17. I had seen it online. I just kind of got bored partway through and was like, you know what, I'm good. I feel like I kind of get where everything's going in this, and I should probably just read the book that's based off of.
I mean, that doesn't sound like a good sign, though.
I like the concept of it, but as it was presented in the movie, I was just kind of like, I don't know why. It just didn't really grip me. So that one's just not necessarily for me. A certain amount of it was just like maybe just how certain characters acted or that sort of thing. The obvious Trump stand-in at a certain point got a little distracting. But it's whatever. Let's see. Ooh, Black Bag. I actually really liked that one. The Steven Soderbergh.
Oh yeah.
Spy film. I think it's about as good.
Those are the.
Oh yeah, you go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
About as good of a spy film as you can get these days, because my God, the formula has been kind of done to death. I think just having it, because God damn it, if every single spy movie that just doesn't have an ounce of creativity just goes with, oh, we have a list of undercover agents that got leaked and we have to find the traitor who figured it, blah, 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 blah. And this one just comes in with, listen, here's a small cast, here's their interpersonal work dramas, interspersed with the fact that they are all trained killers in one way or another, and just have some cool, suave moments and mainly just be about talking and data acquisition. It's like, cool, love it, no notes. It's, it's like if you mixed Atomic Blonde and Tinker Tailor.
Oof.
And at least the best aspects of those.
You have seen the newest Soderbergh and the newest Aronofsky this year, and you know what? Put Superman aside. I'm sure it's good. Those are the two things you've seen that I have not yet seen, and I still need to. Is Black Bag and Caught Stealing. The fact that I haven't seen either of those yet is unfortunate.
Yeah. And since we're on the subject of Caught Stealing, because I had completely forgotten about that, but I remember now. I liked Caught Stealing. I think I'm still not sure what my ultimate opinion on it is. It's the kind of thing of actually watched it in the theater with my parents, and there's at least one or two scenes of just like some pretty brutal torture. And at one point, literally, my mom had to look away and nearly wanted to leave because of that. And I think just a certain point, I had to be like, you know what? Yeah, I think that scene was unnecessary. I think at a certain point, there's a certain amount of it where I was just like, man, this just kind of feels like brutal for the sake of brutality. I still ultimately like it, but I don't know. Just certain points with a lot of, I've soured on a lot of the more violent aspects of modern film and TV, especially like stuff like The Boys and, Invincible, like that sort of thing, where it just kind of revels in it. I don't know. I've kind of gotten to a saturation point with a lot of that. So it's just kind of like when that sort of scene pops up now, I kind of take it not as a thing of like, oh, imagine if a kid saw this. It's just a point of like, man, why are we having so much? Why does it seem like you guys are having so much fun with this of all things? Like, I just kind of feel nauseous at a certain point. So I still like caught stealing, but yeah.
Aronofsky has meh movies with really, really good performances, which is why I'm excited about seeing it, because the last one that he did, The Whale, is like the embodiment of that. Like, I really love the performances in that movie, and without those, it's basically a nothing film. I still don't know why that's something he wanted to adapt from the stage, but whatever. I feel the same way about Black Swan and that Noah movie that he did.
God, yeah.
With Russell Crowe.
You like that one?
Yeah. No, I like the performances in
fair.
it. That's what I'm saying about Aronofsky.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like you were putting Black Swan and Noah in the same sentence. Like, what?
I am.
Man, I love Black Swan.
I'm not even saying they're the same. I'm mixed on Black Swan. And I'm not even saying they're the same quality, but he always gets really good performances out of his actors.
Fair. Yeah, no, there wasn't a poor performance in all of Caught Stealing. I'll give it that much. Yes.
Great.
Going further down the list, should have been looking through this while we talked.
Well, while you're going down the list, the worst thing I saw this year, absolute worst, because I just remembered it, the War of the Worlds remake with
oh god, yeah,
Ice Cube.
I didn't see it, but
Amazon commercial.
Yeah, I didn't see
where
it. Where
Amazon literally saves the day.
I don't even know how anyone could feel the need to show their face again after willingly tying themselves to that. Like, what the fuck?
It is. It's embarrassing. Honestly.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. That's the best way to put it.
I can't believe that people still, like, I don't know. I assume that Ava Longoria is going to continue to have a career.
Maybe we will see. Oh yeah, I eventually saw Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. I think it's fine. I kind of wish, I wish it had felt a bit more definitive as an ending, but they had callbacks, they had some fun things kind of come up here and there, but ultimately just kind of felt like yet another Mission Impossible movie, and that's basically fine. It's kind of a nothing burger at a certain point, but
yeah,
it's like, all right.
I still haven't seen it just because I saw where Final Reckoning was heading, or Dead Reckoning, whatever the first one was. I think
it's Dead Reckoning.
And I was like, I wasn't rushing to the theater to see the follow-up.
Right. Yep. Talked about Phoenician Scheme. Like I said, really liked it. I loved. Listen, anything that has its trailer be the Firebird suite is just trying to court me specifically. So it's hard to fault it for that reason. Yeah. No, I think it's not my favorite of his ever, but I'd say it's top 5. Maybe top 10. Oh god. Got a lot of what? I don't even know what half the shit is. I still need to see K-pop Demon Hunters, if only because of like the cultural impact it seemed to have. If you've seen that.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Did I not? I don't think I rated it on Letterboxd because I'm not seeing it on my page. Oh. I did watch K-pop Demon Hunters. Mm-hmm. I found a way to see it.
Nice.
I liked it all right. I thought it was a really interesting premise with some fun animation. I don't understand the hype that the songs have gotten, but that genre of music has never really been for me. Mm-hmm. It's weird because some of the songs I don't know, some of the songs seem to deliberately be written bad, and I could totally see if that's what they were going for, especially with the male K-pop unit, because that's kind of the cynical look that the cynical feel that the movie is sort of taking. But the fact that the songs launched themselves into the Billboard charts the way that they did was kind of confounding to me.
See, I've still managed to not hear any of them. I don't know a single song from that movie because I don't listen to anything on the billboards. I did end up actually seeing Together at one point. Like, I think I had to travel for something at some point, and I think I just watched it while I was laying in bed because I was like, this looks like a thing that had an interesting premise. But
is that the one with Allison Brie?
Yeah, and Dave Franco.
Yeah,
I thought it was.
I haven't seen that yet.
I thought it was fine. You know, it's the trailer kind of gives away basically everything. The whole thing of like, oh, these two people in a codependent relationship are literally fusing together. At a certain point, it's like, you know, a certain amount of body horror stuff that's like pretty good. It does also have a fact of there's a certain amount of drama around it because it may or may not be blatantly plagiarized from an independent film. But with an almost identical premise. So certain amount of salt to be taken with that movie as a whole. But, you know, I thought it was fine. But like I said, the trailers did it no favors. It was pretty much going into it. I was like, I know where this is going basically by its entire premise. And that's exactly where it went. You know, its ending was more unexpected. It was a little bit more unexpected, but you know, they didn't turn into like some horrific monster that terrorized the countryside or anything. That's honestly what I expected. Basically, I expected the end of The Substance.
Would have been fun.
Would have been fun.
Yeah.
But no. Honestly, it's pretty straightforward as far as endings go. It's just kind of like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. And then that was it. So yeah, that one was fine. Like I said, if it does turn out to be true about the blatant plagiarism, then, you know, shame on them and forget every good thing I've ever said about it. Let's see. Oh, yeah, The Naked Gun. I forgot that it was this year. The remake, at least. Another one we get to do.
Yep.
I'm still kind of mixed on it. I thought it was good. I thought it was funny. But I do feel like as far as parody films go, they're really not. It felt like it still just kind of missed the mark on a lot of cases. At the very least, it didn't quite feel like a Naked Gun movie. It felt like it was just a silly parody film without kind of having the style of humor that the original Naked Gun had. Like, there's a very... The dryness in the original is what made it so iconic, and at times they kind of just don't have that in the remake. They have their own jokes, and they are very funny, but I don't know. It just feels like calling it The Naked Gun is a bit off. It just seems like they didn't really emulate enough of it to really consider the same markup. That's it. Liam Neeson and you know, Pamela Anderson, fantastic. Like neither of them gave a poor performance. It was great all around for them, especially Pamela Anderson. I thought she was great in it.
So, when you say dry, lacking in the dry department, is that I'm curious what exactly that means? Because when I hear that, it's more of an acceptance of the reality, which I feel like I constantly talk about with comedies of this nature on the show, where I want everyone in the world to buy into the wacky reality that they're in. And I was worried that 2025 would be a lot of someone makes Liam Neeson makes a joke or says something stupid and the character next to him looks at him like, what did you say? And I'm like, no, you're doing it wrong. And that's what I was really worried about. So could you elaborate on that just slightly?
It doesn't have anything like that. There's a couple moments that come close, at least in my mind. Have you seen The Naked Gun? Like the new one?
No, not the new one.
Cool.
No, that's why
there's a couple moments that kind of come close, but not quite. But there's certain moments where it kind of feels like almost the shot style is kind of playing against it. Like, there's a running gag throughout it that the cops are always drinking cups of coffee. I think it's meant to replace, like, previously they would have always been smoking. And in this case, they're just always drinking, like, cups of, like, Starbucks coffee or whatever. And at one point, they set their cups down onto a table that's just littered with tons and tons of coffee cups. In the original version of it, I feel like it would have just held the same shot, like the same camera angle of them setting it down, and you're just meant to notice on your own, oh, that table's ridiculously overfilled. But in the new one, they cut to a different camera angle to show specifically only the table as it's getting more coffee cups set onto it. And it's a subtle thing, but it's the kind of thing where it is drawing direct attention to the joke, and that's not really what The Naked Gun was funniest about. It was more about the, like you said, this is a ridiculous world, and everyone's just reacting to it, and we as the audience have to as well. And, or rather, like, they're living in it, and we have to react to it. But when they have moments like this where it does draw attention to it, it just kind of ruins the joke just enough for it to be like, that could have been funnier, you know? I feel like they didn't have to hold my hand.
What you're describing, there you go. It's exactly that, because what you're describing, to me at least, is a lack of faith in the audience to understand, which is also a problem I have a lot with modern comedies. Yeah,
that's the only major thing I could point out about it, is that there is a certain amount of it that just feels like, yeah, this is just the audience taking it. It's not taking the audience seriously enough. I will also say, just blatantly, the end goal of one of the villains is ripped straight up from, this is a mild spoiler, but it's kind of inconsequential at the end of the day. It rips the villain end scheme from Kingsman, like the first Kingsman movie, if you've seen that.
I unfortunately, I have seen all of those.
It just straight rips it from the first movie. I'm like, it doesn't seem like they're trying to parody it or anything. It's just like, that is just what is happening in that movie, and now they're doing it here too. What the fuck? So that's, again, it's because it's such a ridiculous setup and everything in premise that it, again, the fact of it being a comedy makes it feel like, okay, yeah, they can just kind of get away with doing that. But it's so blatant feeling that it's hard not to notice. So I think it's still ultimately more good than bad, but there's just a certain amount of it where I'm like, they could have done a better job with that. They couldn't resist having the moments where, like, oh, cut to a close-up of the shot of this thing, or have this joke drag out a bit wrong or a bit too long or one thing or the other. It's just, just enough for me to be like, God, they could have knocked it out of the park, but they came just shy. So that's, it's, again, I still enjoyed it, but there's a certain amount of it where I'm like, yeah, it doesn't feel like you guys quite you didn't quite clear the bar in my mind. So yeah, that's all that can be said about that. Let's see. Yeah, caught stealing. Already talked about it. I guess if I need to talk about it in more detail, it's basically just Snatch. It's like, it's,
right.
It's which is fine. If I remember right, it's actually based off of a book by the same name. Like I said, it was good. I thought the action, the sequences were really good. At times the story's a little predictable, but not too predictable. There's a few twists that are actually, like, pretty good. But yeah, if you've seen movies like it before, you can kind of generally guess where a lot of it's going. But, oh god, The Toxic Avenger came out this year. Oh, I saw random scenes of that. I haven't seen the full movie, but I saw a few scenes where I was like, I mean, okay, that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, I'm totally preparing for us to cover that as well on the show. But that one's weird because technically it came out in, like, 2022.
Oh, yeah.
But it was only screened here and there at, like, festivals, I think, and it just got a theatrical release this year. So very odd situation with that one. Mm. I think some of the cast and crew were like, oh, that didn't come out.
Oh, yeah. Fair. Oh, yeah, The Long Walk. I think that was another one of those ones I watched at a late evening just because on a lark. Just because I saw the trailer and the premise was really interesting. I need to read the original short story as well. That one I actually did really like. I think it's the original story itself is blatantly just the Vietnam War. It's meant to be like a metaphor for it. And the new one seems like it's trying to kind of slot into a modern framework, which sort of works, but sort of doesn't. If you just want to take it on its own, it's a very harrowing premise and a very interesting story. So I give it the recommend, at least. But I also don't want to talk about it too much for the fact of, one, watching it is kind of the only way to even experience the story properly, and trying to give a synopsis is not easy. It's just because, like, the premise alone doesn't leave.
The short story is relatively simple.
Yeah. But no real bad performances. Mark Hamill's in it, and that's always fun. I think the character he plays is pretty astounding, at least just as a metaphor more than anything. But yeah, I thought it was a damn solid thing. I think it's a good thriller that I think more people should watch. I think it got a decent amount of love at the theater, but I could be wrong.
I mainly remember it because there was, like, the There was the brief. I don't even remember how serious it was, but it was like initial screenings of the show. You would have to walk on a treadmill, and
Oh
if
my God.
you stopped walking on it, the movie would stop.
What?
Or something
Well, that's
like
hilarious.
that. Yeah, very entheming. But hey, we got 2 Stephen King adaptations this year about movement, because we got The Long Walk and The Running Man.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was the Running Man.
That's my comedy for the evening.
What is between that and Maximum Overdrive? This guy really just has some weird stories about getting the fuck out of
there. Being on the move, Christine.
Oh my God, yeah, Jesus. I'm sure if I could think more. God, I still.
The Langoliers has a plane in it. I don't know.
Yeah. Still need to see Frankenstein. God, a lot came out in the theater that I just didn't see, but. Oh yeah, they did a Nuremberg remake. What the hell?
We talked about it on the show.
Yes, I was like, hang on. Yeah. I'm thinking. Yes, yeah, we did talk about it in the show.
Yeah, not as a topic, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. Wicked for Good, which I pretty much didn't see anything throughout October just because it was busy. That one was the original. Like we talked about that. I talked about that one a lot already, but yeah, it was pretty just very disjointed.
Yeah, you went on a long diatribe about it on this show.
Yeah, so I won't stick on it too terribly long, but yeah, that one was just kind of disjointed and didn't really have a lot going for it. If anything, it just means I won't have to hear and see ads for it near as much anymore. So I'm happy for that, at least. So yeah, all I need to hear about that. I just watched in the time since our last recording, I just watched Wake Up Dead Man, the latest in the Knives Out series.
Oh, the Knives Out?
Yeah. That was the one that I mentioned earlier. Really liked it.
I heard it's much better than Glass Onion, so that's something.
I still really liked Glass Onion, but I definitely is the weakest of the 3. But honestly, I kind of have to give Wake Up Dead Man my new favorite out of all 3, because the first one's good because it introduces the novelty of the premise of like with Benoit Blanc and just the whole setup of what they're doing for this whodunit style thing. But I do think the Wake Up Dead Man has the most heart out of all of them. It goes very much into the idea of faith and like what faith means to us in a modern era and how it can be such a divisive thing. And there's just a lot of moments in it that are just deeply sweet and trying to like say, yeah, this is a horrible thing that's been abused for centuries, but also there's a reason people have stuck around with it. And it doesn't shy away from the fact of like, yeah, the main character, Benoit Blanc has an entire monologue talking about how it's a horrible institution that's done a lot of horrible things. But then the main character, Anna de Armas stand-in this time around, has a lot of heart behind it. And it's just is able to just carry the whole thing just on the fact that he's just kind of a sweet guy throughout it all, which is emblematic of these characters. And it's I don't know. I really liked where it ended up. I will also say though, a consistent factor of the Knives Out movies that is a point in its weakness, and I literally even called it before Hannah and I started watching this one. They make it stupidly easy to guess who the killer is in every single case. And for the simple fact that they spend way too much time with that one character and we learn more about them and they have more screen time than any of the other suspects. They did it in the first one with Chris Evanson's character. They did it with Edward Norton's character in the second. And I won't say who it is in the third one, but once you start watching, you're like, it's them. It's absolutely them. And it is. It's like, okay, which side character has a lot more interesting stuff going on about them that we learn about? That's them. It's them. It's like I get it. I ultimately, yeah, you want the ultimate killer, the suspect, to be the most interesting character, but you got to try to balance it out with everybody else so it's not blatantly obvious throughout the whole thing.
But then it's the thing, all the characters have to at least be somewhat interesting or have better tells, because otherwise you're just not making a good mystery, period.
Yeah. I will say in this one, it does mix it up a little bit by adding a bit more complexity to the setup, but I think it doesn't shy away from the fact of like, yeah, it makes it blatantly obvious who the ultimate person is. That's really the only point I can say against it in like really all those movies. But I think, like I said, I think it's my personal favorite out of the 3 so far, and I honestly hope they keep doing these movies. I hope they just keep finding new zany situations for for Daniel Craig to just keep doing a Virginia accent. It's so funny.
At least he's having fun. It's his new the new thing that he's stuck with for all time.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Good for you, man. Just have fun with it. Do your own thing. The other one I saw that I think came out this year, and I imagine it will be the last of them, unless I see one in December, was Hamnet, the William Shakespeare story.
Right. You and Hannah were talking about that.
Yep. And it's probably tied with me for Sinners of my favorite movie that came out this year. I think it's rare that a movie can be an emotional powerhouse for me. Like, so often, movies that try to get a cry out of me, it's just like, whatever. But for this one, it just decided, hey, here's an incredibly tragic story, and we're going to keep beating you over the head with it until you leave. And it's like, okay, that'll do it. Like the performances were fantastic, and there's a certain amount of hokiness in it. Like when you come down to it, obviously there's moments of seeing the William Shakespeare the character, like blatantly quoting lines from his own stuff, like as he's writing his works as it goes on. But it all feels earned. Like it feels like, yeah, this is a young William Shakespeare coming into his own as these things start coming about. And I don't know. It's just literally like, I don't remember the last time I've been in a theater where I could hear other people crying to the amount that I did in this one. By the time we left, I was like, the credits came up and not a single person even moved from their seats for at least a solid 30 seconds. We were all just like, So that one probably, it's a tight race with Sinners for me, just because Sinners, which is such a cool film, and it's hard to beat it. But Hamnet was just such a well-made piece, and just like all the performances were just solid. So it was definitely a highlight for the year for me. But other than that, I think that's all I saw this year, which still to me doesn't feel like a lot, but I've seen stuff outside of it at least as well. But as far as stuff that came out this year, I think that's it. Yeah.
No, I mean that's a decent amount anyway, so not a bad not a bad collection of things.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty decent year. There's more stuff I wish I had seen, which again, that's every year for me. But it feels like this year especially, there was a fair chunk of stuff that I was like, that actually looks pretty good. I still wanted to see Zootopia 2. Honestly, I liked the original.
Yeah, no, I actually I have tickets. I'm going to be seeing that a couple of days. It's not in theaters for too much longer, but I had to plan around it. But I did want to see that before the year was up. With all the moving and everything, I hadn't been to the theaters in a while, and my big comeback was The Running Man, which was very disappointing.
Yeah.
And then Five Nights at Freddy's too, just because it was, I don't know, it was playing.
Yeah.
So I want to get in there and see something that will hopefully be better.
Yep. Oh man, I also need to see the new Predator movie, just because I love Predator as a series.
Yeah, for sure.
Apparently that one did really, really well. So I was like, oh, why didn't I go see that one? God damn it.
Well, let's go back in time briefly to 2024 releases through way of 2025 Oscars, because I know we briefly talk about awards. That always means something for the industry, whether we care or not. But that being said, it's relatively easy this time around because it was a huge sweep at the Oscars by Anora and The Brutalist.
Yep.
Those two pictures pretty much tag teamed everything else that was up, which is upset because I saw a lot of the movies that got nominated for awards, and pretty much none of the ones that I watched actually won anything, which is the first time that's happened to me in a while, because usually I'm pretty on the ball with being able to pick things, but I knew The Brutalist was going to take some stuff. It was just one of those things where it's like, God, that's really long. I got to find time to watch it, and then I just never did. But Anora, I didn't end up seeing, and was actually kind of blindsided. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I just hadn't heard a lot about it, really. So,
was that the one that had a bunch of controversy around it? Or no, that's Emilia Perez. Sorry.
Emilia Perez I ended up watching just out of absurd curiosity, and I'm glad that I am on the same page as pretty much all audiences and critics alike in being like, why the hell was this nominated for anything?
Yeah.
It is so bad. It is so rotten.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything I've heard about it.
yeah, just bad songs. It's not well made. It really does, not to sound like some old alt writer or anything, but it really does seem like a lot of Hollywood maybe didn't watch. People on the board didn't watch their screener copies and they just read the synopsis and they're like, "Ooh, that's gotta win something," and so they nominated it for everything. I can't see how else this would have made it, because there are other movies that tackle these topics and actually, I don't know, make good movies.
Yeah, what
so
concept?
it's just bizarre. Flow won Best Animated Feature, which I did end up seeing Flow, and I'm very happy about that. I'm glad that won, because it's a foreign feature from a small independent studio in a country that isn't Japan that actually won something.
Yeah.
It's not Japan and it's not America, so that's like, oh, that's fantastic. I love when that happens. And it did so well that, I mean, in what is the Latvia?
I think Latvia.
They actually, they built up like a statue commemorating it, and now the government has like scholarships because of it for animation. I think it's
like the first Oscar that Latvia has won. You know.
Yeah, it's like, well, take pride in this for your country.
Yeah, you beat out Inside Out 2.
A statue of a cat.
Beat out Inside Out 2 and The Wild Robot. Like, that's impressive.
Yeah. And you know what? Wallace and Gromit, the new one, it wasn't going to win anything, but I at least had fun with it. Memoir of a Snail was fucking depressing.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, that was this year. Holy shit.
But it's an Adam
Or not this year,
it was
that
2024.
year. Yeah, sorry. That for this most recent Oscars, I should say.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was pretty much just The Brutalist and Anora taking everything. I think Wicked and The Substance got some things for like production, I think, and Dune Part 2 won for sound. But it was a tag team sweep basically.
Yeah, Wicked got production design. Of all things, Emilia Perez got best original song.
That is insane to me.
Called El Mal.
I couldn't even tell you which one that is, but it was probably bad. I didn't like any of the songs in that movie. Bad musical. Conclave got best writing. I am still kicking myself because I got invited to a free screening of Conclave through Letterboxd at an AMC theater, and I didn't go because it was a work night. And I was like, I don't know. I haven't seen anything about this movie, and I don't really want to be up late. I've heard nothing but good things. It won Best Writing. It's got, what I've heard, great performances, especially out of Ralph Fiennes. I'm still kicking myself. I gotta watch it.
It's pretty damn good. It doesn't help for the fact that then the Pope died not long after it came out.
I remember seeing things like, is this marketing?
I was going to say, man, the marketing on this movie is crazy. It's like that. I mean, that movie could not have come out at a better time for itself. Like, that is wild.
Yeah, that's like Pokemon Go hitting at COVID.
Yeah, holy shit.
Or Animal Crossing.
Pokemon Go at COVID was like
Pokemon Go
that
was
wouldn't have
like
done it.
Yeah, that was like a year before. Yeah.
Yeah, I do, but yeah, on what you've said, I do need to see The Brutalist. Again, it just seems like a lot for me. You know, I like Adrian Brody as an actor and everything, but man, it feels like that's going to be a lot of a movie to watch.
Yeah, but it's about architecture. You gotta see it.
I know. Well, that's the thing. I hate brutalism. I think brutalism is a terrible art form. But I think...
You think the movie is like yay brutalism?
I mean, probably...
From what I've seen, it's probably the opposite.
I mean, no, it probably is the opposite ultimately. But I understand the cultural impact of brutalism and so much of like the heart behind it. But it's just, for me, on a personal level, if I look at a building that's brutalist, I'm like, this looks dead and scary. This looks bad. You know, anything that is brutalist looks like it was built for the empire of Star Wars. So,
yeah,
it's like I can see sometimes it's done pretty well, but it has to be done with some serious skill. So, you know, concrete's not for me. Man, yeah, that's a weird year for Oscars. It doesn't quite match up with Oppenheimer the year before. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, because I'm sure once we get closer to the date and I start seeing more of the rumblings, I'll try to pick up a few things and I'll Once again, I will attempt to watch and select what I think is going to win. I may fail just as badly as I did this year, but at least from an early look from what I have seen, I would be hard pressed not to see one battle after another take a couple awards this time around.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly couldn't tell you what the best film would be in general, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Sinners has got to get at least something. Like, if it doesn't, I'm going to be very upset. But
I think sound design or best original song.
yeah.
Because there is one original song in the movie. A lot of them are like classics.
Yeah, like old blues. But there is one original, and the whole scene around it is insane.
Yes. So I could see something like that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe costume.
I'll be shocked.
But that's probably going to be a Wicked thing again.
Yep. Well, I was going to say, I'll be shocked if Wicked gets anything even close this time around. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah. It's just one of those things. I'm still down on award shows in general, and this year the video game awards were even worse for me.
Yeah.
So it just firmly kind of cements for me of like, it feels like the best examples of everything are just always going to be the things outside of the major public eye, you know? It's, I don't know. I won't try to go on about the video game awards just because it's not really the point of all this, but man, that one was just kind of disappointing. And I truly wish we could bring back E3 just so we could have another source for video game trailers, because like that's all these award shows are for now anyway.
Yeah. Well, as I've said before, I think award shows are interesting, and I like studying the politics behind them. But as an event, I cannot tell you the last time I actually watched an award show because I have no interest. I haven't watched the Game Awards in years.
Yeah,
I just look at the results later because I have no interest in even watching clips.
Yeah, and I didn't really watch through it. I just mainly was kind of keeping an eye out for the trailers. I'm glad I did. Ace Combat 8 got a trailer, so I'm excited for that. But
right.
Yeah, otherwise. It was also just fun seeing the amount of disappointment of people being like, they kept teasing about there being some big announcement. It was just that the people behind Titanfall are doing a new IP, so it's basically just what's their friggin' battle royale shooter? It's not Titanfall. It's Apex Legends.
Yeah,
they're just doing a version of that, but it's more fantasy magic kind of centered. And like everyone was predicting stuff like, oh, it's going to be Half-Life 3 finally because they've announced so much other stuff, and like Steam's been kind of teasing it lightly here and there, and there's just nothing even close to any of that. Like they revealed the Divinity trailer, which was just a cinematic trailer, so it means basically nothing. But
Divinity was the big thing that everyone was curious about because it got that statue.
That's true.
In the desert. And,
yeah.
And people were like, what's that statue? Oh, is it going to be... Well, actually, people predicted... Because it's the internet, they actually predicted it was Divinity pretty early on. But those first 2 days were fun because it was like, oh, it looks like Doom, or maybe it's like related to Elder Scrolls 6 and all these things going around. But the internet being the internet, they solved it relatively quickly.
Yeah. Which, like, you know, there's only so much you could do with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was just funny seeing like all the predictions, and it's like, nope, nothing. And then Expedition 33 came in and just cleared the board to the point. They cleared the board.
We knew it was going to do.
They cleared the board so thoroughly, it's actually lessened their reputation now. Which is actually kind of hilarious. It's like they were doing so well for so long, and they got lauded so much that everyone's like, okay, this is bullshit. It wasn't that good. And I gotta say, I played it. I played it for a good couple hours. I didn't like it. Like, I kind of get what people are on about, but I also really don't.
Well, I like it all right, but I think the fall off is unfortunate and definitely a slight against the dev team, because there are other games that I think much more deserve a fall off but never got it.
Yeah.
Like The Last of Us, for example. That series in general. And I'm like, I don't know, this is like decent if you like the genre. It's not like a bad game in this form of combat, this turn-based genre.
Yeah.
If you like this sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still happy for them that they got so much, but at the same time, I'm like, I really feel like we just didn't really care this time around, y'all. Like, we were just like, hey, it's French, and it's the closest thing to art that video games will ever be these days, so... You know, at least in the, what can we consider the AAA space. And I know technically it's an indie studio, but it doesn't feel like one.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, all the true artistic pieces are in the indie scene, and no one's ever going to talk about them, so...
Yeah. No, that's yep.
And actually, the thought of video games also reminded me of the fact that I've also started watching the second season of the Fallout show this year. I guess I could count that as part of what I've watched.
Oh yeah. Well, you and Hannah were talking about that.
Yeah.
In the Annie episode.
Yeah, the second episode's come out in the interim since then. I'm not sure how to feel about where it's going. The episodes feel very disjointed. Like, there's a lot of different storylines going on at once, and they really just don't like sticking to one scene at a time. Like, they have to keep cutting to other ones. I'm just like, there are certain scenes that they could have just stuck with for longer to see how those scenes concluded in the episode and then moved on to the other ones. So I don't know. It just feels a little choppy at times. It's not bad, but it's just kind of weird. So I have no idea where it's all going. Hopefully it'll turn out well. So
well,
yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Well, now that we have we've talked at length about the Oscars and what we've watched. So we've seen where 24 and 25 were going. Let's jump to the future, see where 26 is going.
Alrighty.
With the upcoming release slate.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, so right off the bat, I've been getting a lot of trailer. January is always a dumping ground. And especially if you get a horror movie in January, it's a cause for dread.
Mm-hmm.
I have been getting a lot of trailers recently for this Primate movie. Have you seen anything on this?
I don't think so. Not a trailer, at least.
It's like a bunch of teens are at like a getaway well, it's one of their houses, but the rest of them are staying there after a party or something. And she has a pet chimp, or her family has a pet chimp, and it talks with like this iPad.
Oh, it's like, okay.
And I guess the implication is something bites it and it goes insane or gets rabies or something, and it traps them in a pool. I don't even know what's going on, but it is not a great looking chimp.
It is.
in the trailer.
I'm watching the trailer on mute currently, and I see what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was like, you know what? I need to at least see something about this. Like, this looks like it's a person in a suit.
Yeah, which maybe that'll mean it's like kind of stupid funny.
Yeah,
I don't know. But as usual, January, not a good sign, especially if you're horror.
Mm-hmm.
You don't release in January.
Yeah, that's a dead zone for horror, isn't it?
Which, by the way, 28 years later, The Bone Temple releasing January 16th is a really bad sign.
Yep.
Just I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm glad so many people are wanting to do horror, but geez.
Yeah. I guess if anything, the one thing I'm excited about in January, whether I should be or not, well, that's not true because there's something else, but Return to Silent Hill, if only because it means we could have an episode where I get to talk about one of, if not my favorite game franchise.
That'd be fun.
Those other movies aren't great, but it might be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even realize there was going to be another one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's apparently it's supposed to be more directly adapting Silent Hill 2 specifically, which whatever. That's the one that everyone remembers.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's the big fault of the first Silent Hill movie, or maybe it was the second one. I don't remember. Because they just have Pyramid Head walking around just being a guy ripping things apart. And it's like, okay, well, you clearly don't understand the point of the games at all. But if this one is trying to adapt a specific game in the series instead of just having a hodgepodge of monsters in a foggy town, maybe it'll be something. I don't know. I'm cautiously looking towards it.
Yeah. I mean, I've never really cared for Silent Hill myself. I think the concept is fun enough, but every time I've seen anything about it, I've been like, I think that's just not for me. You know, it almost
that's fair.
It almost feels kind of trite at times, but I'm sure so many things have taken homage from it at this point that that's probably the reason why. But yeah, it's just like, the town is your own personal horrors and like sins and that sort of thing. It's like, all right, that kind of feels like we've treaded this realm before, but whatever.
Well, that's the fun thing is That's really only Silent Hill 2.
Really?
Which is the one that sort of paved the way. Other games after Silent Hill 2 sort of pick up on that, but especially if you're looking at the original trilogy, Silent Hill 2 is an outlier. Silent Hill 1 and 3 are basically continuing stories about a cult trying to revive a dead god in the midst of this town.
Oh.
It's not really the, like... I think Silent Hill 2 had such a long-lasting legacy, it kind of impacted what everyone thinks the series is about. And I mean, that has definitely influenced other games in the franchise. Silent Hill F, which I played through and just came out, is more directly leaning towards the theming of Silent Hill 2 than any other Silent Hill. But yeah, a lot of those games are like a continuous story.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Just with different characters farting around. Yeah.
Fair enough. Good for them. You know, honestly, I want them to do whatever the heck they want. It still will always be baffling to me that the great, like what many people consider to be one of the greatest Silent Hill pieces ever was PT, and it was just a repeating hallway. And having seen playthroughs of it, I'm like, yeah, I get it. This is freaky as all hell. And the fact that it never actually became a true game is insane.
I played it myself, and it's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
And it's not even that it's, like, more realistic than other games. Even at the time, it wasn't, like, the most realistic looking thing, but the way the camera moves specifically makes you feel like you're actually there. It is the fluidity of the camera that is like, oh, this is awful. This is just dreadful.
Yeah. So it's wild that ended up being such a non-start.
Yeah, for sure.
The world that could have been. I'm just looking at the releases coming out next year. I completely forgot Avengers Doomsday, which it feels like all the stuff.
Yeah.
All the other Avengers movies, everything was leading up to it so much, and there was a lot of anticipation around it. My God, does it feel like Marvel is dead? Like, it's the fact that, and also the fact that they revealed that now Doomsday is all about Chris Evans being back, and it's like, what was the fucking point of all those other movies of him being sent off and all these things? Like, you guys are done. Like, you guys have to throw in the towel.
He's back. Downey Jr. is back in a possibly different role. Who knows? But the lead up is kind of because Jonathan Majors fucked them. Yeah. They're like, oh shit. But
I think it's also
take more time.
It's also it's not even just that. It's the fact that so much of the other stuff that they had released post Endgame was just not great. Like the TV series they did the first few were very good, but then Quantumania was just a really bad movie. And then also the Jonathan Majors thing. But that alone, they easily could have pivoted away from. They have recast people in the Marvel Universe before, and Kang the Conqueror might be the most easily recastable person ever. The fact that he is an infinitely existing being, they could have cast a whole new person and it would have been fine. But no, they decided to completely just bin that entire character for no reason, and just decided to just be like, oh, we can make this work. No, you can't. That was a stupid move. I don't know what the fuck Disney has been on for the last, almost feels like a decade for them to just constantly be fumbling like this. From Star Wars to so much of their stuff with Pixar to Marvel now, between just poor marketing and poor execution. It's just like, you guys are allergic to success, it feels like. You guys just keep doing the same bullshit over and over and then act weird of like, oh, why didn't we get as much money back as we wanted? Like, it's because you guys are being idiots. You're not promoting anything. You guys, the things you do promote end up being really bad. The things you don't promote that are actually any good don't get any kind of box office return because you didn't promote them. And then you keep just making stupid business decisions with Marvel without recognizing the fact of, hey, either find a way to recapture magic that isn't just throwing random shit at the wall, or realize that Marvel is done. Just stop. It's gotten so convoluted, and you've basically added so much random bullshit that's never going to get followed up on that no one knows where anything's going. What is Moon Knight ever going to come back? Is Shang-Chi ever going to come back? Or what are the entire characters and setups that are just not talked about ever again? Good God, what is happening? Why are you guys doing this? I don't know. It just feels like they're allergic to sense at this point.
It's because everything is interconnected, period. Because it's interconnected from a business sense, not from a creative sense. And they constantly have to rely on fans to remind them the shit that they should already know. The shit that they did. I forgot that we set that up. Yeah.
I'm just my God, I'm tired of it. At the same time, though, and I've talked about it for years, that I was so desperately wanting for this finally to be falling off, and it finally is now, and I just wanted to have I want someone to put the last nail in the coffin already. It's like, let's be done. Like, something tells me Doomsday is probably going to be it, where everyone's just going to be like, it's probably going to perform abysmally, because no one knows what the fuck it's going to be about, and no one knows even, like, what they're going to be drawing from. Because, like, with the first Avengers, everyone knew. Like, they had all the, like, 4 or 5 movies prior to that set it up, and that's all you needed. Now there's all this other shit going on that they're not, like, capitalizing on. Like, are the Thunderbolts going to be involved? Are all of these other characters going to be involved? Is Hawkeye and his young protege thing going to be involved? Who fucking knows? You guys don't actually, like, let anything sit anymore. It's just stupid. There's a whole thing with Vision and the WandaVision thing that happened. Like, it feels like a decade ago now. Like, Christ. So, yeah, now I'm kind of happy it's going. Like, the only superhero movie stuff I'm going to even pay attention to right now is going to be whatever James Gunn is doing with the Superman stuff. And it's like, you know what? Sure. That seems fun. It seems like it's not being held back by years of bloat, and it's just going to go have some good times and some heartfelt moments. That's all I goddamn need.
Yep. And I'm still anxiously awaiting the next Matt Reeves Batman movie in 2032. Yep. Whenever it stops getting pushed back.
Yep, that'll be interesting. Still wondering what they'll do with the main villain for that one, but who knows?
Yeah, I do not know.
All that they revealed is that it's going to be a character that hasn't had a movie adaptation yet, so who knows where that'll go.
That's interesting. I know Joker is partially involved, and the Court of Owls is supposed to be partially involved, but like the main villain, they've kept that pretty close to the chest. Yeah.
So yeah, I think I've seen a lot of people throwing around Hush, which might be interesting. Like if you're going for more of the detective angle again. But who knows?
Maybe, yeah. I understand why, because it takes a lot of work for it not to come across as goofy or horribly done, but I long for like an actual Clayface adaptation.
That would be cool. That would be fun. I have no idea if they'll angle for the full fantastical stuff with the Matt Reeves one, but
yeah, it doesn't seem to be going that way. But I guess we have the sample size is small, so who knows?
Mm-hmm. One thing I actually, on the subject of more films coming out next year, one thing I'm actually excited for, Disclosure Day. Have you seen that one?
I saw the trailer for it. Yeah, the next
Spielberg movie about aliens. Like he's returning to form. Let's see where this goes.
Something that he can do well.
Yeah, and I like The Fabelmans. I thought that was a really good film. He's had mixed things in recent years, but I think Fabelmans was damn good. So I am hoping this one goes well. I am tentatively excited for that.
Yep, me as well.
Yeah, I'll let you go.
Early, yeah, I guess we could take turns. Early next year, in January as well, tail end of January, we're getting Iron Lung, which...
yeah.
I'm familiar with the game. It's done by the Markiplier studio, and it's been getting a lot of internet press because of that. Mm. I have not watched a single minute of Markiplier in my entire life, and I'm being truthful when I say that, just because I've never had any interest. That being said, I am looking forward to it because I like supporting independently financed things, so I'm curious to see what that'll look like.
I have watched a bit of Markiplier throughout the years, just off and on, just because, it's hard not to once I'm on YouTube enough. He has done a lot of other, full scale things, at least on YouTube. Like, he's done, kind of pseudo choose your own adventure things through YouTube, that have all had a lot of good heart to them, and a lot of, they've all been very interesting. I have no idea how well that'll translate to a full-fledged release like this. I'm worried that it'll look kind of cheap, but I'm sure it'll be fine. There's a certain look to YouTube movies that is kind of emblematic. It seems like it from the trailer, like a lot of those Tom Scar kind of era stuff.
Yeah.
That I feel like that unless they really hit the nail on the head when it comes to the tone and the story, it might just kind of fizzle. And with Iron Lung as a IP, with it being such a big thing about just existential dread and claustrophobic horror, I'm hoping I'm tentatively optimistic about what they're going to go with for this, but I have no idea how well it's actually going to be hit on the head, like I said.
Oh yeah, me neither. Because like I said, unlike you, I've seen not a second of any of his content, so I don't. Well, I mean that's not true because I've seen like memes, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
I don't know. I don't know what it could. I don't know. I don't know what the options are for what it could be, but I'll still see it
Yeah,
just
he
out
has.
of an undying curiosity. And I mean, if you're going to experiment with anything with a moderate budget, horror is at least the way to go.
Yeah, for sure. He's got good creative chops. I'll be interested to see how well it takes form in this in its most ultimate form, essentially.
Yeah.
I've also like apparently there's also been stuff in the background before of like he's potentially not the coolest guy to work under. Apparently he can be kind of a dick sometimes, but you know what? With creative auteurs, that's honestly not too uncommon.
Right.
So I haven't just heard anything specific about the production of Iron Lung. But if something came out after the release and like people started talking about it, I wouldn't be surprised. So, but who knows? I'm like I said, tentatively optimistic. And like you said, it's cool to support independent things, and I think YouTubers being able to kind of flex their space, their abilities in the wider release space is always a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when shit like the Odyssey is coming out, and I'm not optimistic about that one at all.
Do you want to talk on that next then?
Yeah,
Your turn.
I mean, yeah, that's a good one as any. I don't know how to feel about this one. I mean, obviously, it's been getting a lot of like shit thrown at it because based on its costuming and everything, and like, yeah, a lot of that's deserved. Just by like everything just kind of looks very plasticky compared to like a lot of more modernized stuff. And again, blatantly, what a lot of people point out is that as far as historical accuracy, quote unquote, it's not even close to what they would have been wearing at the time of that war. And even in the Odyssey itself, it describes exactly how Odysseus is meant to have been dressed, but they just decided to go with the fan hair helmet thing that is really just out of place. So I'm trying not to be too much of a history jackass about it, but like, yeah, it looks weird. And I just don't really know how this is going to turn out if that's kind of where we're going with it. The Odyssey is just such a beast of a story. Trying to do a film of it is always a losing battle, it feels like. Because, like, for God's sake, it's the Odyssey.
I am so ungodly curious about it just based on the teaser trailer because I am not interested in the cast at all. I think a lot of the roles are miscast. And I'm like, what are all these fucking people? These are not the right people for this movie. And just the tone feels strange. I don't know because it's Nolan. And he's coming... Is this like his... Coming off the success of Oppenheimer, I want to say, is this his blank check? But he has gotten so many of those over the course of his career that I feel like this is more a studio feature than it is his.
Yeah. I don't know. It's... Well, also just based on the trailer and everything, it looks like it's taking more out of the Iliad than the Odyssey. Like, the Odyssey is about the trip back, but they focus so much about
as
the Trojan War.
Yeah.
Like, the whole point of it, and they better not, and if it does the whole thing of it's gonna be, like, more realistic and it doesn't actually go into the, like, mythological aspects of it, it's like, fucking why? Like, that's the entire point of the Odyssey. Like, there's so many major chunks of it that are just blatantly, like, they have direct encounters with godlike beings. That's the whole point.
Well, Charlize Theron is supposed to play Cersei, so I know they're gonna do some of that at least.
Okay, good. And yeah, I still haven't seen the teaser yet, like whether or not they show anything like Polyphemus, like the Cyclops or anything. I have no idea.
I don't recall the Cyclops. The Cyclopses.
Yeah. I think it's Cyclopses is the plural, but yeah, I just don't know. I love the story of the Odyssey and it's such an interesting thing, but I feel like it's also just kind of, you have to also accept the fact that the Odyssey is also kind of wacky, you know? It's kind of just, it's Odysseus pissing off Poseidon and us all of us, and basically everyone being like, dude, what the hell is your problem? You know? It's the fact that it's a 1 to 2 month journey that gets stretched out into 10 years. It's like, yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, come on. So I don't know. I will honestly need to see a larger trailer of it before I can start passing judgment. But even the stills I've seen, I'm just not super optimistic yet. Just because, again, this is a favorite story of mine. Just like everything about it. I'm surprised they didn't try to do the Iliad first, you know? I know everyone
From
knows
a Hollywood perspective, yes.
Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously everyone knows the Odyssey. Like, that's the more famous of the two. But the Iliad is a pretty major portion of that, and it needs to be remembered for that, you know? And the fact that...
I think from
Yeah, you go ahead.
going back to the Hollywood perspective, though, I think the Odyssey is a much more regarded and fantastical story
Right.
to pull from. So if you're going to try to get audiences in there...
Yeah. It's... I don't know. It's just weird to me. I will pass judgment when it feels like there's more judgment to be passed.
Yes. Well, for something slightly more interesting, because there are a lot of movies that are coming out next year that seem to just be original pictures, which I'm excited for. And something that I have been lightly tracking is Redux. Have you seen anything on this?
I have not. I haven't even heard of it.
So a woman's daughter is killed, and she exacts revenge by killing him, and then travels to parallel universes to repeatedly kill the guy that killed her daughter, and she gets addicted to killing this guy.
Wow. That's interesting.
And I'm fascinated. Yeah, I really want to... I'm fascinated by it.
Huh. Yeah, no, that actually sounds insane. That's okay. I'm cool for that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about that. Like, I'm glad that we're starting to do more shit with the multiverse thing that's actually kind of interesting.
Yeah. Multiverse as a concept is not a bad concept, but it has been primarily used as a nostalgia factory.
Yeah, for sure. And just also being able to be like, oh, this character's back now.
Exactly. It's like, remember this guy? This other person that played this character is now here again.
Oh my god. I'm just looking through more of the list that's shown here, and there's two in a row. There's two in a row that I want to bring up just because of the whiplash for it feels like for me.
Sure.
The first one is just called simply Jimmy, which is apparently going to be a biopic about Jimmy Stewart, James Stewart.
Okay.
Which honestly, that sounds pretty fun. The tagline for it is America's most beloved actor in the iconic role that saved him. That's interesting. It's got the main character's played by the guy that played Archie in the Riverdale show.
Oh Jesus! Okay.
But he looks good. He looks like James Stewart. But this is followed up immediately after with Narnia. There's going to be another Narnia movie apparently.
Oh, the magician's nephew? Is that it?
On here, it's just called Narnia. It doesn't have a specific title to it yet. It's got Greta Gerwig as the director,
though. Narnia, the magician's nephew, Netflix.
Oh, yes. Okay, cool. It's got Daniel Craig in one of the roles. Yeah. Uncle Andrew. Don't know that one, but I haven't really read any of the Narnia ones.
Yeah, he's the one because, well, it's the first book. It's not the first written book, but it takes place before all the other... Because I did read all the Narnias back in elementary school.
Wow.
And Uncle Andrew is the guy that owns the house where the wardrobe is constructed.
Oh, okay.
From the second book, if I remember that correctly.
Okay, fair.
Either he built it or he owns the house and his nephew builds it. Mm-hmm. Or finds it. Whatever. He's important to the wardrobe story, the story of the shipper.
I know vague details about the wardrobe itself. I think I started reading the first written book in the series at one point, but I didn't get too far with it.
My favorite is the last book in the series, though, because it is about an atheist orangutan and his donkey companion trying to start a religious war in Narnia. And that one needs to be adapted.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of sounds like Dune.
Yes. Yeah.
Honestly, it sounds that sounds like one of the lesser known Dune novels.
I am still kind of looking forward to The Bride.
I was going to bring that one up next, actually.
Okay, I have been seeing more and more of it slowly trickle out, and I'm kind of worried about the direction it's going, or the direction it might have gone, because it seems... I'm worried it's going to be try-hardy. in an unfortunate way. Well, just looking at the poster, here comes the motherfucking bride.
Yeah.
Okay. And just I've been seeing a lot of that. I'm really hoping that this is not going to go in a direction that's going to have me rolling my eyes in the theater constantly.
Mm-hmm. But something tells me it will.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about it on the show.
Oh, almost certainly. One I'm actually weirdly interested in, of all things, Greenland 2 Migration. For the simple fact of Greenland 1, which was a apocalypse movie about them trying to escape a comet hitting the Earth, and Greenland 2 is about the aftermath of that. I'm interested in that for the simple fact of, one, we don't get a lot of immediate after the fact apocalypse things like this, and two, the fact that it is kind of hearkening to the fact of it's human migration to safer lands and nomadic travel. It's like, this feels like it could easily have tie-ins to actual anthropologic history, of actually mass land migrations by early human civilizations and that sort of thing. It's like, that actually seems like an interesting concept. And I'm tentatively interested in seeing where that goes. Now, the fact that it's, Gerard Butler in the main role is interesting. And I'm sure that'll be mixed in its own way. But I don't know why. That one, just when I first saw the trailer for that come out, I was like, okay, I can dig it. I think that's honestly, the fact that they decided to continue with the story is actually kind of admirable.
I'm floored. Yeah, I'm floored that Greenland is getting a sequel.
Yeah. It's like,
That's
it actually talks about
interesting decision.
Yeah, it actually talks about the fact of okay, how do you rebuild from this? How do you continue forward? And it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, it's actually talking about the fact of humanity for a long time has actually had to do this shit before. It's like, that's actually an extremely interesting topic. It'd be cool to see how that's done in kind of a modern light. So yeah, I have tentative interest in this one.
Going on to my side, March 20th, Project Hail Mary.
Oh,
this
yeah.
one, I'm curious because I'm going back and forth on it because it's directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and they very rarely miss. Very rarely do they do a project that I don't see some value in. The trailer for Project Hail Mary did not entirely sell me, and it is based on an Andy Weir book, and I think Andy Weir is a shit writer.
Really?
However, The Martian is a bad book, and it got an okay movie, so maybe this will be something?
My friend, we are in differing camps here. I actually quite like The Martian as a book. I think he's a
really bad writer.
I think he puts a bit too much of his own bullshit into the writing at times, yes. But as an overall story, I actually quite like The Martian. His follow-up book, Artemis, has kind of more of the same problems.
Ooh,
but
yeah. I read Artemis as well, and I was like, holy shit. These are the most insufferable characters imaginable. It's interesting because he makes these interesting worlds and scenarios and puts the most dog shit dialogue and characters in them to the point that I just get frustrated.
Yes, for sure. I think the movie adaptation for The Martian did soften the edge of that a bit. I think Matt Damon, sorry. I think Matt Damon actually did a very good job playing that character. But yeah, I have no idea how this movie is going to turn out. Not least of which for the fact that it seems like the trailer has revealed a lot. Because the premise of the book is that the main character is supposed to have amnesia and doesn't know what's going on. And then the trailer just kind of gives all the major plot points away. So who knows?
Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about it.
Yeah. But, I love me a good space movie. I'll reserve judgment on that one for sure. I need to read the book, but I actually gave my dad that book for birthday last year.
Oh, nice.
Apparently he liked it. So, but again,
study up for the movie.
We both also really liked The Martian. So, not for the characters or anything, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right. What's your next?
Well, I will also say, from what you've said, I have no idea to what medium this will be done in, but apparently there is going to be a Clayface movie this year.
What?
That's it. Yeah, it says so. A shape-shifting creature made from magical clay haunts Gotham City, alternating between villain and ally of Batman. Multiple tragic figures have taken the mantle of Clayface over the years. That's what it says for the little tagline on IMDb.
Produced by James Gunn.
Yeah. It looks to be live action.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Tom Reese Harries is Matt Hagen. So they're going the actor route. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good. I think the actor interpretation of Clayface is my favorite.
Yeah. Well, even it says in the tagline that multiple people have taken the mantle, so it might do multiple instances of the Clayface.
Maybe it'll cover multiple Clayfaces.
Yeah, that's what it seems to suggest.
Okay.
Yeah, that's apparently going to be a thing. You didn't intend to, but that's a thing that exists.
No, that's exciting. James Gunn is producing, as well as Matt Reeves, and directed by James Watkins. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, good for them.
Yay.
Good on you, buddy.
All right. Just touching on a couple of remakes that we could go through. In April, we are getting both The Mummy and The Devil Wears Prada 2.
Sorry.
Yeah. And I don't have anything to say on those other than the fact that we're getting them. And
they exist.
I've seen some light discussion of this. We're getting a new animated adaptation of Animal Farm.
Oh, God. Trailer's out for it now.
Oh, is it?
It's rough.
From bits of what I have seen and some of the discourse, I don't know how true this is, but it seems like they are kind of changing the theming of the story a bit.
Which is insane.
It is no longer It no longer has the same messaging as the original Orwell book, which was my favorite book for a period.
Yeah. It's like you're telling me the animated feature with Seth Rogen as one of the main roles isn't going to cover the thinly veiled metaphor of Stalinism? Wow.
No, it'll probably be anti-capitalism and
I'm reminded that back in the day the CIA actually funded a film adaptation of Animal Farm specifically to decry communism. And apparently it might have a better take on the subject than this movie did.
Maybe? I mean if you mean the I don't know the year. It was in the 50s. Yeah. But it was an animated feature.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently the CIA actually helped produce it, so
well, yeah, that's upsetting. You go. I don't want to.
One I don't know how to feel about specifically, but I'm pretty sure it's Pixar and it's about beavers, hoppers.
That thing looks like trash. Sorry.
I don't know how to feel about this one. Like, beavers are one of my favorite animals, and I love Pixar. And based on the trailer that's been released so far, it looks like it could be a silly amount of fun, but I don't know why they're going with the premise that they are specifically.
It just looks like Avatar with beavers. I
mean, like, Avatar is a series kind of blows, so you may as well try to do something else with it, you know? It kind of looks, it's like Avatar meets Over the Hedge.
That's an awful sentence. I think you've answered your own question.
You know what? Fair. So I don't know. This one, I'm getting a lot of mixed feelings on this one. Is my point. I want to like this, but yeesh.
Well, if we're on the Disney train, let's talk about what's coming out in fall 2026 for Disney. Their animated feature separated from Pixar, Hexed. If you have seen the description of this one, it is an all-new original film that follows a teenage oddball and his mom, who discover his weirdness as hidden magic, transporting them to a world where magic can run free. It is the most generic, bland, boring thing I have read in quite a while.
My God, how did Wish get outdone?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Like, what?
It's like Wish and Onward had a baby.
Oh my god, yeah, and had the worst aspects of both. Uh, I I don't know what it is about Disney animated pictures recently that they've just been doing this between Onward, which I know is Pixar, but still, between Onward, then was it Strange Worlds, and then Wish, and now this
Yes.
one, where they're just like, hey, what if we just like don't care, you know? Like, what if we just like
Yeah.
we have things, parts of it that might be pseudo interesting, but we either don't promote it properly or we just drop the ball most of the way through, or whatever. I'm just like, because I remember I started watching Strange Worlds and had to stop because the main character looked scarily like me in a lot of ways.
Yes, we've joked about that
So
before,
and
too.
then that also the fact that he was voiced by Jake Gyllenhaal, I was like, I can't keep doing this. I need to stop. But on its own, there was a lot of really interesting elements to it that I wish they had promoted more, but they just didn't. And then like obviously we talked to everyone's talked to death about Wish, and it's just like, what is going on over there, y'all?
It's like, what if we made an absolute awful... We took an awful premise, animated it in the same style that we've been using for the past decade, where things are extremely rigid and have absolutely no life to them, and then filled it with quirky Chungus humor that no one laughs at. And then, yeah, we won't market it and we'll put it in the theater. Why aren't people watching our movies?
Yeah.
We had a $19 watch early thing on Disney Plus. Why aren't people paying for it?
Is this for Wish or Strange Worlds?
It's for all of them. They keep doing this.
Yeah, true. Oh yeah. I don't get what's going on that, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I need to stop giving a shit about Disney because truly Disney has stopped giving a shit about everything else.
Yeah.
Let them leave. Let them leave us alone.
You got something else?
I'm going down the IMDb list as it starts getting into things that are just like kind of into the dregs kind of area. But there's a few popping out at me that I'm like, okay, that's interesting. There's apparently going to be a Kraken movie, which I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Just the word Kraken?
Yeah, it's literally just called Kraken. I'm like, you know what? Okay. The Kraken's a cool myth. You know, it's a cryptid, if anything else.
Yeah.
And I've always been a big fan of a lot of nautical stories like that. So, you know what? Yeah, sure, why not? It looks to be more kind of like modernized, but still. Like I can dig it. You know what? Like if we gotta have like just cool, interesting standalone things, it may as well be stuff like this. I'm like, cool, do it. Don't care.
Sure. I mean, I maybe it is. Yeah. It's just I don't know a lot about it. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
I know literally all I know about it is the title and the little tagline it has on here. Marine biologist doing research on a fish farm encounters strange occurrences. Along with the brutal deaths of two teenagers, all signs point to the deep fjord. Can there be something more in the depths than meets the eye? It's like,
okay.
Well, all right. There's like, sure. There's some Jaws implication in there too, but you know. Like, well, Jaws was a good movie. Fuck it.
I'm gonna run through this. And we don't have to comment on any of it. We can just let it lay flat and die. But here's everything that Walt Disney Pictures will be putting out next year.
Okay.
Hoppers, Toy Story 5, live action Moana, Spider-Man Brand New Day, Avengers Doomsday, Hexed. That's their whole lineup. They have 6 movies and each one sounds worse than the last.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Fair enough. Whatever. They can just do whatever the hell they want. Oh, also the Kraken movie looks to be a Norwegian film, which funnily
cool.
enough, the Kraken is originally a Norwegian myth, if I remember right.
Yeah, if it's foreign, so
yeah, that's interesting.
Foreign feature.
Cool. But yeah, that's Disney. Like I'm fine letting that one die. Literally none of those seem interesting to me.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else that really pops up for me. There's apparently going to be a Backrooms movie. I mean, I thought there was already a dude on YouTube doing that.
Yeah, they've been working on that though in a more professional setting. I've read about that.
Oh, cool, more Five Nights at Freddy's bullshit.
For more potential topics of the podcast, we have a cliffhanger reboot
Oh my
We
God,
have
really?
the new, yes, the new Resident Evil film that's coming out, which I don't know. I kind of want to see where it's going because it's directed by Zach Kreger, and the last two things he's made have hit really hard. So,
And Resident Evil's been getting
I'm,
it's been having a renaissance here lately, so why not?
I'm curious. They just historically have really bad adaptations.
Listen,
Practical Magic.
I think a few of the more recent video game adaptations have maybe broken the curse a little, so we'll see where it goes.
Well, I've liked all the recent video games. I just mean like TV and movies. They've never done anything successful. So,
Oh yeah, fair.
curious. But Practical Magic is getting a sequel. Practical Magic 2. We could cover that.
That's interesting. I actually really like the first one.
Obviously, the new Street Fighter movie. So we could talk about Street Fighter.
That's gonna be weird.
The Cat in the Hat is getting an animated adaptation in theatrical format. So talk about that with the Mike Myers Horror Fest.
Oh God.
And and finally, Fokker-in-Law. Did you know Meet the Fockers would still be going strong in the year of our Lord 2026?
Wish it wasn't.
Because Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, and Owen Wilson will all be returning.
Was Robert De Niro like still able to like move? Because every time I feel like I see him in something new, I feel like it looks like he's about to just have rigor mortis.
He didn't move a lot in Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So I think that's sort of the answer.
Yeah, and that's like the last thing that he's been in, hasn't it?
Maybe.
Because I remember watching him in The Irishman, and it's like having him try to be in scenes where he's younger and everything. And I'm like, I remember seeing you in Goodfellas, my man. This is not how you moved then. We shouldn't be kidding ourselves. So I'm like, I'm sorry, man. This is you maybe just need to stop.
just quit while you're ahead.
Yeah.
You're not even ahead anymore. You're way behind.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, man, whatever. Let's move on.
I'm nearing the end of my list here, but Violent Night is getting a sequel. Violent Night 2. I didn't like the first one. Jumanji: The Next Level is getting a sequel. I didn't like. I kind of liked the Jumanji remake a little bit, but everything that they've done since then has been garbage, so I don't really care. Dune Part 3 will be coming out in December. I'm sure I'll see it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think we can even
diminishing returns.
I don't think we can even really do an episode on that one at this point. It feels like there's so many. It's so lopsided now.
I think we could, but it would have to be the David Lynch Dune and then parts 1 and 2, because that covers up to roughly that same point. Everything past then, we're starting to get into like the larger spice wars and dealing with the council, and that's well beyond our care.
Yeah,
I guess.
Fair enough.
And then the final thing on my list, we talked about it briefly in the Nosferatu episode. Robert Eggers' Werewolf, December 25th, Christmas Day of 2026.
You know what? I'm excited for that one.
Me too. Period piece with realistic Old English dialogue. We got Ralph Ineson and Willem Dafoe and Aaron Taylor Johnson, Lily Rose Depp. All these people he's worked with countless times before and continues to get good performances out of. So, yeah.
I'm excited. It's not much this coming year I'm excited for, but I'm excited for that.
We just got to wait literally a whole year for it.
Christ. We'll probably have only just seen it before we could do the end of the year thing.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, exactly. I'll have to be like, I just got back from the theater.
Yeah. I'm sure I'll be traveling or something, so who knows?
Probably.
Christ.
But yeah, that's the end of my list. I don't know if you see anything else that fits your fancy.
I'll just finish it off with, I got really far down the list. Gale, Yellow Brick Road. The tagline, Dorothy, now an elderly woman haunted by her past, tries to warn her granddaughter Emily before dark forces pull her into Oz, a once familiar land now twisted by horrors. Okay.
Elderly Dorothy haunted by her past. What does that mean? Are they talking about Return to Oz? Because that was scary as shit.
Maybe,
otherwise, I don't
know.
really know what they're talking about.
I don't know. I mean, apparently it's already got a trailer, apparently. But, yeah, that's weird.
Oh, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, the tagline on the poster is Dorothy was just the beginning. I don't know why it's called Gale Yellow Brick Road, though.
That's weird. I mean, obviously her last name is Gale, but
I guess
what does that have
honestly,
to-
that's probably because it's her daughter now.
Oh, so it's like the legacy of the Gale family.
Yeah. Yeah, in the trailer, it makes it seem like I think maybe it's kind of going with the idea that Dorothy might have been institutionalized afterwards, and like maybe people didn't believe that she actually went to Oz, but apparently maybe it's actually real.
Okay, well, that's exactly what happened between Wizard of Oz and Return to Oz. Is she was in like an asylum and she escaped.
Yeah, so that honestly might be the angle they're going for, but it's fully
Okay.
meant to be a horror movie from the looks of it.
Great, it'll
Oh my god,
amongst
there's a little person running down a road really scarily.
Hey, Rumpelstiltskin. Okay, now I'm excited again.
Yeah, it looks pretty silly. It definitely doesn't seem like it's a very high budget film, but it's got some interesting visuals going on, so I'll give them that. Yeah.
Okay.
It feels like another one of those things of like, oh, this thing entered some amount of public domain, so now we're going to make a horror movie out of it.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh and Popeye and the Grinch.
Yeah. It has a similar vibe. Those slightly better production values than those.
What are with these scary drawings?
Are you looking?
Oh yeah, the Scarecrow looks interesting. They got some interesting costumes. Yeah.
Yeah, they got some cool visuals going on. So I'm like, I'll give it to him. Let's see where this goes. It just said I just saw that pop up and like just such a weird premise behind it. I was like, okay. So like you guys
February
do you.
11th.
Oh boy.
I just saw the little person.
Yep.
Okay.
Feels like that February feels like even worse for horror movies than January.
Yeah, we should be loving, not fearing.
Well, we love to be scared. I don't know.
I guess. Well, how about we love the ones that we've lost? Would you like to go through our deceased's?
I mean, sure. I'd say I would like to is kind of the wrong phrasing for it, but you know,
Okay.
it's unfortunate. But
Well, it is unfortunate because unlike previous years, we've been doing the podcast for a while now, but we have quite a number of podcast-related deaths
yeah,
this time around. And as usual, I will go through the podcast deaths first and then other ones that suit my fancy. In the lightest of saying these aren't ordered in any particular way other than roughly when they died in the year.
Mm-hmm.
And just feel free to interrupt with any thoughts you have. Otherwise, I'll just sort of keep going.
right.
So starting off, we have Joan Plowright, who was an actress, English actress in a number of things. 1995 adaptation of The Scarlet Letter, Widow's Peak. But she played the nanny in the 1996 101 Dalmatians adaptation. Big one, not too long after that, was Gene Hackman.
Yep.
Obviously, Superman, The Conversation, Night Moves. For the purposes of this podcast, he was in The French Connection, The French Connection 2, and he played the blind man in Young Frankenstein. He had already passed by the time we did the French Connection episode, so we have discussed that at length.
Yeah, still wild to think about.
Yeah, just crazy. Peter Jason passed away. Character actor. He had bit parts in a million things all over the place. For the purposes of the show, he was the soccer coach in The Karate Kid, the 1984 feature, and he played Chuck Fleming in Brewster's Millions, which I believe was a associate of the Richard Pryor character.
Mm-hmm. I think I remember him.
Bruce Glover, he was in the likes of Diamonds Are Forever, Walking Tall, but he played Duffy in Chinatown.
That one I do remember.
Priscilla Pointer, Mommy Dearest, Twilight Zone the movie. She was Eleanor Snell in 1976's Carrie, and she was in, she played the same role in Carrie 2, The Rage, some years later. Michael Alamo in Mr. Mom, the Chinatown Syndrome, or the China Syndrome, my mistake. He played the Doctor in Space Jam, which I believe is he's checking out the players.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that.
Had their powers stolen.
Yeah, oddly specific.
Yes. A favorite of mine, Joe Don Baker, passed away. The Natural, Fletch, Mitchell. He was the private investigator in Scorsese's version of Cape Fear. You'll remember he's killed by De Niro in Drag.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I was like, I'm trying to remember. And then you say, that's all I needed.
Yeah. Harris Yulin. He was in the Night Moves, which I mentioned earlier, Ghostbusters 2, as the judge. But he was Chief Detective Mel Bernstein in 1983 Scarface, our first episode.
A long time runner.
Yeah. Jack Betts passed away. Sisters, Seinfeld, Frasier, a bunch of sitcoms. But he was Henry Balkin in the 2002 Spider-Man, which is the chairman of the Oscorp Board of Investors.
Mm-hmm.
Vaporized by Pumpkin Bomb.
Ouch, am I? Sorry.
No, that's great. Bring the mood up. Julian McMahon passed away. Charmed, Home and Away, various other sitcoms. He was Doctor Doom in those first two Fantastic Four movies.
Mm-hmm. That one was surprising to hear about, honestly.
Yeah, he was relatively young. Just sort of out of nowhere. But Michael Madsen, longtime collaborator with Quentin Tarantino. He was in Kill Bill Volume 2, The Hateful Eight, Reservoir Dogs. He was in Thelma and Louise briefly. But he was Lieutenant Steve Phelps in War Games.
Mm.
Eric Redman. He was in The Illusionist, Saving Private Ryan. But he played Schneider in Captain America, The First Avenger.
Oh, God.
Michael Delano, occasional TV actor and singer, but for the purposes of our podcast, he was the casino manager in both Ocean's 11 and Ocean's 12.
Oh, yeah, I forgot I should have been both.
Diane Keaton worked quite a bit with Woody Allen, Manhattan, and Annie Hall, coming to mind. She was also in Father of the Bride, but she played Kay Adams Corleone in The Godfather Part 1, 2, and 3.
I will remember her in two of those.
Yes.
Try not to remember the third.
Tatsuya Nakarai was a longtime collaborator with Akira Kurosawa. He was the samurai wandering around in the town in Seven Samurai. He was Unosuke in Yojimbo, and he was Muroto Hanbai in Sanjuro, which the latter of which we have not done an episode on, even though we could, but we did it for movie night. So
yeah, that counts.
Yeah,
but she is a great
and
actor. That sucks.
Yeah, for sure. But lastly, for podcast-related deaths, Diane Ladd. She was in Ghosts of Mississippi, Christmas Vacation, Scorsese's Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. She played Ida Sessions in Chinatown.
That one I do remember as well.
Yeah. Now on to various assortment of things. Two that I wanted to cover up top. Bill Berg and Gaylord Sartain both passed away. They were bit players that didn't do a whole lot, but they both featured heavily in the Ernest series of movies. I think Bill was in quite a few of them as the Bobby character, which rarely, if ever, spoke. Gaylord played a couple of different characters, but he was usually paired with Bobby. He was the heavier set of the two. So, two Ernest actors in 1 year.
You know, I can't say I really knew much about them. I would see you guys watching their films occasionally, and I was like, I'm good.
Completely understandable. I am an Ernest fan.
I can make a joke there, but I won't.
We lost Bob Uecker, baseball player, longtime sportscaster and sports announcer. He played the dad on Mr. Belvedere, the sitcom from the 80s, which is the main reason I wrote this down. Jeannot Swark was a French director, but he did direct the occasional American co-production, such as Jaws 2, Somewhere in Time, Supergirl, which can be a future episode soon, and Santa Claus the Movie.
Okay.
I think that's the one with Dudley Moore and John Lithgow is like trying to steal ideas from the elves. I have not seen it in a while.
Oh my God, man, you could be making this up for all I know. Like, there's a lot of things you just said where I'm like, what the flying fuck?
Maybe we'll watch Santa Claus the movie next year for the movie nights.
Sure, why not?
I wrote this down briefly. I don't know much about her, but Joyce Piven passed away, primarily a stage actress, but she was the mother of Jeremy Piven.
Mm.
Big one that we can discuss briefly, but David Lynch, director,
Yep.
ended up passing away. I would say abruptly in that it came out of nowhere, but it wasn't surprising given the way he lived his life.
Yeah, fair. He didn't seem like it was like before his time or anything. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. He hung in there for quite a while, even though he was primarily doing YouTube videos and short films. We watched Inland Empire, which was his last big movie that he made. And that was in like 2005 or 2006 or something. So for a while, he had just sort of been doing his own thing. Twin Peaks: The Return, I guess, would be the last thing he really did that got some widespread eyes on it.
Right. I'd still need to finish watching through Twin Peaks. We've kind of gotten to a gully for that.
I understand. In between seasons 1 and 2, not knowing where you are, but in between seasons 1 and 2 especially, there's a bit of a valley.
Yeah, we're in like the second or third of the second season. And it's just kind of like, yeah, it's a bit weird, but nothing horrible, but it's just kind of like, there are other things have come on that were more interesting, sort of thing.
Yeah. But he was a great director. I've seen all of his work except I think Wild at Heart I still need to see, which I think I mentioned at the during the Inland Empire watch along. Yep. That's the one film of his I haven't watched. So I got to get on that in the new year, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
P.H. Moriarty was a character actor from England. He did a lot of bit parts in things like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Outland, and The Long Good Friday, which I primarily included because I literally just watched that earlier this year, so it was fresh in my mind. We lost Tony Roberts, who was a very tall, long-standing actor in things like Hannah and Her Sisters, $1 Million Duck. I watched him in the 6-episode Lucy Arnaz show as Lucy Arnaz's boss. And he was Woody Allen's best friend in Annie Hall, which, hey, we lost Diane Keaton and Tony Roberts, 2 actors from Annie Hall this year. And yet Woody Allen is still walking around somewhere.
Son of a bitch.
Doesn't seem fair. Yeah. Bowen Coleman passed away. He had bit parts on things like Rambo First Blood Part 2, Rules of Engagement. He was longtime voice actor as Mr. Wynn on Hey Arnold, if you remember that character at all.
Not even a little. But I'll take your word for it.
He was the Vietnamese immigrant that lived in the boarding house that Arnold's grandparents ran.
Oh, yes then.
Yes. Well, he's gone.
No.
Yeah. David Johansen passed away. He was the singer for the New York Dolls. He had the alias Buster Poindexter. He famously sang the song Hot, Hot, Hot. And he was the ghost of Christmas Past in Scrooge, that Bill Murray adaptation of A Christmas Carol.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He, drove a taxi or something.
Yeah.
Lynn Marie Stewart died. She was Miss Yvonne in Pee-wee's Playhouse, a role that she originated on the stage version of that show. She played Charlie's mother in It's Always Sunny, a sitcom I very much like. Mm-hmm. And interestingly, she voiced Shirley in the Hanna-Barbera Laverne and Shirley in the Army, which is where the sitcom characters Laverne and Shirley are drafted into the Army, and they serve underneath a pig named Sergeant Squealer, I think.
Yeah, okay. Why not?
It's Hanna-Barbera. What are you going to do?
I feel like there's some metaphor there that you could do with modern day, but yeah,
I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Michelle Trachtenberg passed away. Adventurous actress and child actress, the likes of The Adventures of Pete and Pete, Harriet the Spy, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She was Penny in the Matthew Broderick Inspector Gadget movie.
Oh. Huh.
For all my Inspector Gadget heads out there.
I know who you're talking about, at least.
Yeah. This one's it came out of nowhere, but I came across it and I wanted to throw it in just because it completely slipped by me. Victor Antonov, who was a video game art director for Half-Life 2, Team Fortress 2, Dishonored, and Fallout 4.
Oh my god. That's wow. That's a lot.
He was in charge of the looks and the designs for all of those games.
I mean, with Half-Life and Dishonored, those are two insanely visually distinctive games. That's actually pretty. That sucks. Yeah. And honestly, I'm not surprised that the person who did Dishonored was also the person behind a lot of Fallout 4's visuals. I can actually see that now.
Yeah.
Which incidentally also influenced almost the entirety of the Fallout series visuals.
He has a long tail.
No kidding.
We lost George Lowe. He was mainly a radio personality, but I know him as the longtime voice actor behind Space Ghost, the modern interpretation of the Space Ghost character ever since Space Ghost Coast to Coast, the animated talk show in the early 90s, all the way up through C.H. Greenblatt's Jellystone from last year. He was in an episode. So he was pretty much Space Ghost for like 30 years.
Also, it occasionally showed up in Aqua Teen.
Oh, yeah, as himself.
Yeah, as himself.
I'm George Lowe, and I need money.
Yeah, George Lowe.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. That sucks.
Yeah. Very shortly after George Lowe is when we lost Val Kilmer.
Yep, I forgot about that one.
Quickly eclipsed that, but what can I say? Top Gun, Batman Forever, Tombstone, Willow, Heat.
My God.
He was a big actor in a lot of things. He was cited by Roger Ebert, film critic Roger Ebert, as the most unsung leading man of the 90s. So,
yeah.
Yeah. Jay North passed away. He did a lot of Hanna-Barbera voice acting as an adult, but he was the Dennis the Menace in the original television show. So I would be remiss not to mention.
Fair.
Ted Kotcheff, film director behind the likes of Fun with Dick and Jane, Weekend at Bernie's, and First Blood, the original Rambo feature.
That is a hell of a selection.
Yeah.
Some people really can't do anything.
Oh man, yeah, and I can do hardly anything.
I'm barely here, you know. Meanwhile, this guy's doing shit like. Meanwhile, people doing shit like Weekend at Bernie's and Rambo. Christ.
Wink Martindale, radio personality, game show host personality. He was the game show host that inspired game show hosts to come. On the likes of Gambit, High Rollers, Tic-Tac-Doe. I took a picture with his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame when I was in California in 2024. Little did I know he would be passing away so soon.
Maybe you caused it.
Oh, let's not say that.
I know.
Put it all on me.
I'm kidding. You're not the Forrest Gump of the situation.
No, that's fine. I alluded to your flight logs earlier, so now you've got one up on me.
Yeah. I don't know if I've gotten a one up on that one, man. Like.
George Wendt, he had a long-time stint as Norm on Cheers, the sitcom. But he was also in tons of other television and films, things like Airplane 2, Fletch, and House.
Cannot tell you the amount of discipline it took for me not to go, George Wendt where?
To the great beyond.
Oh, yeah, I was just like, God damn it, don't do it, man. It's like there was also one you said earlier, like where you said we lost this person, and it took every part of me not to be like, "Well, go find him." It's like the fucking,
dad jokes.
It's like the fucking. They did like a Duke Nukem joke at one point. It was like, "What do you mean you've lost the baby? Go find it." It's so funny and stupid. I hate myself.
What kind of filthy degenerate plays with doo-doo feces?
Damn it, man. It's that I like yeah, secret for listeners. Anything that immediately gets to my funny bone are those stupid Duke Nukem jokes.
Yeah.
Like every single one of those will just kill me. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Moving back onto the dead.
Sorry.
Ruth Buzzy, she did a lot of TV work. She was a comedian, primarily known for Ronan Martin's Laugh-In. She would always hit folks with her purse. That was sort of the punchline. Huh. She also had a very large chin, I recall.
Okay, fair enough.
No, it was just like a prominent physical feature.
I don't know, man. Like, just like we're talking about the dead here. It just feels like that's an interesting thing to remark about. But okay.
Okay, sorry. I won't.
I'm not like offended on her behalf or anything. I was just very surprised. I'm like, okay.
I know who these people are.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. Loretta Swit did many a TV role, mainly popping up here and there as character actress on things like Love Boat and Mannix. She had a long time stint, however, on MASH, the sitcom version of the Robert Altman film. James Foley was a film director. He did things like Glengarry Glen Ross, At Close Range, and the last two 50 Shades of Grey features.
Less said about that, the better.
Okay. Robert Benton was a film director as well. He directed things like Kramer vs. Kramer, Nobody's Fool, and Twilight. No, not that one. The 1998 film featuring Paul Newman, Susan Sarandon, and Gene Hackman.
All right, fair enough. You did you kind of cut me off at the pass there with that one. So
yep.
Good call.
I had to. Kenneth Colley. He worked a lot with Monty Python as a group. He was in Life of Brian as Jesus, I believe. He was also Admiral Piet in the Star Wars features.
I couldn't tell you who that is, so I'll take your word.
Oh, okay. One of Darth Vader's right-hand men.
Oh, okay, yeah, I think I know what you mean.
We lost Ozzy Osbourne.
Oh yeah, big one.
Yeah, musician, singer, songwriter, reality television star, along with his wife Sharon. He headed up Black Sabbath for a while. Yeah, it's one of those, like, what do I say?
Yeah, he speaks for himself.
Yes.
And not definitely another one of those cases of I'm not surprised.
I am surprised it wasn't 10 years ago.
Honestly, yeah, fair.
I will say. Very quickly after Ozzy was Hulk Hogan. Obviously, big time wrestler. Hulkamania lasted for quite a while. He had Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling, the cartoon of the 80s, and he was also he headlined a couple movies like Suburban Commando and Santa with Muscles.
Okay, why not?
Terrence Stamp, English actor. He was General Zod in Superman 1 and 2. He passed away. He also was in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, which is interesting because that's getting a sequel soon. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert 2. And he actually filmed all of his scenes not long before he died. So
that's wild. Also, the fact that that's getting a sequel.
Yeah. If not for that, Last Night in Soho would actually be his last feature because he worked a lot with Edgar Wright. But since that's getting a sequel, that will be his last film, posthumously released.
He's a great actor, so that is sad.
Yeah, for sure. We're nearing the end of the list here. As you can tell, we're getting to more and more recognizable passings because they've happened more recently. But Lonnie Anderson passed away. She was on many a pinup poster, but she was an actress known for her television and movie work, such as WKRP in Cincinnati, Stroker Ace, All Dogs Go to Heaven. Many sites listed her as Burt Reynolds' wife, which is very disrespectful.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay. Sure, whatever. Huge loss. Robert Redford.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what can you say? Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, All the President's Men, The Sting. He directed Ordinary People, which won a fucking Oscar.
Jeremiah Johnson.
So, yeah.
God, yeah. Like I need to go back through some of his films. His stuff was. Oh Lord, that's a big one.
I talk about The Sting all the time.
Yeah, it's a great
How
film.
much I love that movie. Yeah. Well, on a similar-ish note, we lost Polly Holliday, which I say because she was also in All the President's Men. But she was in Mrs. Doubtfire, she was in Gremlins, and she would best be known to folks as playing Flo on the sitcom Alice, which was based on the Martin Scorsese film Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which we talked about not too long ago.
Yeah, fair.
Because Diane Ladd died. June Lockhart passed away. Once and more, longtime sitcom star. Things such as Lassie and Lost in Space, where she had motherly roles, the mother of the family. She was also in a couple features here and there, such as Meet Me in St. Louis and the 1938 adaptation of A Christmas Carol, which we almost did, but we went with Alistair Sim instead.
Which, I'm glad we did.
Oh, yeah, no complaints. And finally, for my list, obviously, there's so many people. I've definitely missed a couple, and I had to trim the list for time. We had others that were originally on here that I didn't have much to say, like Marlene Warfield, who was the final maid on Maude. Like we have other folks that popped up, but I have to pare this down somewhat. Mm-hmm. We very recently lost Rob Reiner in a rather heinous way.
Jesus Christ.
The more that comes out about that story, the worse.
Yeah.
The worse it all seems.
I feel like that story alone, I think, helped kind of put me in the mindset I did coming into this.
Yeah, Conan O'Brien's not looking too hot right now.
Yeah. Like, poor bastard.
But, yeah, obviously, he was the son of famed comedian Carl Reiner, which led him to some acting work early on, and eventually he would direct, starting with This Is Spinal Tap and leading to the likes of Ghost of Mississippi, which we covered previously, When Harry Met Sally, The Princess Bride, Misery, Stand By Me, just so many things.
Like, one of the most definitive directors of that period, that's for sure.
Yeah. And, of course, now his last work is the Spinal Tap sequel, which we'll definitely be covering on the show soon.
Yep. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. But that is my death list. Do you have anyone that I may not have touched on, Stu? I tried to be as comprehensive this year as I could.
Not really, to my knowledge. Oh, wait. There was exactly one that happened the day before my wedding that's not really the movie. It's not really in the movie scene or anything, but I still feel it's significant. Dick Cheney, burn in hell, you son of a bitch. I
forgot about that.
Literally the day before my wedding, and it was like, this is a wedding present I couldn't have asked for. Like, my God. That one was fantastic to hear about. Oh, man.
I would say not movie related, but I did talk about Henry Kissinger when he passed. So
fair. And there is the Vice movie, technically, that's about Dick Cheney. We can count that or something. I don't fucking know. But the son of a bitch is dead. And I have zero care what anyone thinks about me for me saying that. Like, Jesus Christ, that guy affected a lot of my early childhood. So, yeah.
I think the way I include, now that I think about it, just because it's funny, the way I included or mentally came around to including Henry Kissinger on the list for last year's end of year was that he voiced a fat cartoon duck called Ducky Daddles in an adaptation of Chicken Little. An adaptation of Chicken Little from a television show that ran on HBO, mind you, and the entire cast of that is just like political figures.
What the fuck?
Okay. Hold on, I have to find this list again. It was fucking insane.
Yeah, please do. Like, that. I'm sure I forgot from when you brought it up last year, but Jesus. Yeah, but yeah, I don't care if it's even tinily, not even tangentially like related to anything we do. That happened the day before my wedding, and that was insane to me. So like that's a highlight for me. Like that's
Yeah.
I'll count it. I don't care.
Yeah, okay. Season 3 of HBO's Happily Ever After Fairy Tales for Every Child. It was an animated show
Mm-hmm.
called Henny Penny. It featured the voices of Sharon Stone, Patricia Welch, Henry Kissinger as Ducky Daddles, Mary Hart, Reverend Jesse Jackson, lawyer Johnny Cochran,
What
lawyer
the
Alan Dershowitz, Geraldine Ferraro, Rudy Giuliani,
what
and
the
John McLaughlin.
what the flying hell?
I have watched this cartoon. Hello, I am Ducky Daddles.
Oh my god.
We must negotiate with China.
Jesus Christ. All right.
I,
That's I'm not even gonna look up if Dick Cheney had any voice credits to anything or like movie credits or something because I truly don't care. Like,
no, that's fine. That's fine.
yeah, only credit I get is whatever snuff film he's going through in hell.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah, I'm bitter,
fair.
man. Like I tend to try to be a bit more on the optimistic side of things, but Jesus, oh
Well,
man. But yeah, otherwise, nah.
that
That's
was
all I
the
got.
end of the. With that being the end of the death list, we come to the end of our show where we sort of do the light wrappings of the year, and basically all we have left to go over is what are we looking for in 2026? Do we have any resolutions whatsoever for any aspect of our lives? And I think I've hit pretty good on the ones that I made in 2025, which was similar to yours, just in general to be more creative. And I
Yeah.
think I have been finding new outlets and ways to express myself. So I'm very happy with how that's gone.
Same. And I think the fact that we started our writing group has been an insanely good idea. Like the fact that we're just you, me, and Steph just like being able to bang out some stuff like this and actually like holding each other to account a certain amount is nice. And yeah, I'm glad that I've been able to reignite the creative flame for myself because it had been gone for a while, and now here we are doing it all for fun. So yeah, I'm in a similar boat. And like I was able to go to the theater a lot more this year. I watched a bunch of really good stuff. So I think I followed up as good as I could have. And then, obviously getting married and everything, that was probably the highlight of my year. I mean, not even probably, it definitely was. So I'd say it's been a pretty damn good year. I've been actually trying to live my life properly finally now that I'm a full adult. And like actually recognizing that I am in fact an adult. I'll be turning 30 this next year. So
Oh
it's
yeah, welcome.
it's weird kind of being in the position of recognizing because for one reason or another I've dealt with nonsense in my own space of kind of just feeling like I just was I'm essentially a 16-year-old that they let get too far, but now I'm actually kind of like in a place of security of like like I mentioned before, I'm on antidepressants now, which has been a literal lifesaver, I'm sure. I'm trying to actually care about myself in kind of a longer term. I'm obviously like getting married and everything was a big part of that. So I feel like I am actually in a secure point in my life that I'm actually able to start taking advantage of. Like for God's sake, I held a dinner party at my house. It's like, what the fuck? It was great. And I'm learning that I love hosting. I love like throwing little like get-togethers for friends and everything. I have a core friend group here. It's all stuff that to the outside might seem pretty banal, but for me has always been a bit of a struggle. And I'm actually able to, take it, like I said, take advantage of it. And not least of which for the fact of just hanging out, at least online with you and Steph on top of all of that. It's just been like, yeah, this is awesome. I think I'm in a great spot right now.
I just love that. I love all that.
Yeah. I'm just me having a competent life for once.
No, yeah, but I'm in the same boat. Like
Yeah,
obviously
you got a house, man.
mine yeah, I've been working with the creativity thing. I bought a house, which was a huge life step because it's like, yeah, it's not an apartment, it's not a condo. I'm not like leasing or renting. It's like an actual house with property that I pay mortgage on and I can do whatever I want to. I am so happy to finally be in a position where I can say that. And I've been doing good with my I'm not on antidepressants, but I am on anti-anxiety meds, and they've been doing wonders. Like, just things. This has been a good year.
Yeah. I definitely came in a bit too negative with this one. That's for, and but again, I'm glad I brought that up at the head of it because like I let so much of it kind of consume my immediate thoughts, but it's also having the time to be able to recognize that, yeah, I'm doing pretty okay. And my friends and everybody are doing pretty okay. You know, there's stuff I want to improve on, but it's nothing that feels like, oh, if I don't do this, like my life is at risk. You know, it's just like, I'd like to be able to make more money or at least save a bit more, that sort of thing. But otherwise, I'm in a secure place and I like the person I'm becoming finally, which I don't know if I've ever been able to say that in my adult life. So it's just kind of crazy. It's like,
That's nice.
I don't even know necessarily what my resolutions would be going forward. I guess it's honestly just more of that, I want to be able to, I've been doing more physical crafts and that sort of thing. I've been doing a lot of maintenance around our house that we rent, but, hopefully we'll try to buy a house next year or two. Doing a lot of like restoring some old tools and like getting stuff fixed up around here. And I'm like, yeah, I actually like doing these things and crafting things, and being able to write is on top of that as well has been fantastic. I might try to draw some. It's truly anything that I'm just like, I'm craving activity now. I'm just like, yes,
Yeah.
let me do these things. So I as far as a specific resolution, I honestly don't know. I'm kind of just in a position where like, I don't feel like I have to have a resolution, which is weird. I feel like I'm making enough good habits that anything I'd want to do and improve upon, I'm already wanting to do as is. And it doesn't feel like it's a goal. It just seems like an expectation, Just like, yeah, I know I'm going to improve. I know I'm going to go see more movies. I know I'm going to write more. I know I'm going to make more. So like, I think, I want to give myself a resolution of I would like to at least write some amount of like a multi-chapter work this next year. Whether or not it's a good one, I'm not going to try to publish anything. That's for goddamn sure. But I do think I've had enough stories going around in my head for my entire life that I need to write something that like actually has some meat to it. So I think I might give myself that much. Now that's a hell of a thing to do, and I guarantee I will probably have failed by this time next year, and I will be eating my words. But I'm going to try. I think I do genuinely want to try that one.
No, that's cool. I mean, resolutions aren't something to definitively make anyways. It's something to strive towards. So just putting it out there is a huge step.
Mm-hmm.
To which, I mean, mine is kind of the same in that I kind of want to just keep doing what I have been doing and continue to improve my life in various ways. Mm-hmm. Work out a bit more, just go on more walks. I have a really nice park near me now.
Nice.
Just general things like that.
Look at you getting into domesticity.
Yeah, it's nice. And then the other thing is, I'm gonna revive one of the old resolutions I had. I'm gonna watch all the best picture winners. I'm gonna do it this time.
All right.
I only have 48 more to go.
That's reasonable to do.
This time I won't fail. Yeah.
Even if you just did one a week, you'd be able to do it.
Exactly, and I'm gonna do it.
All right, I'll hold you to that one.
Thank you.
God knows we'll be holding each other to doing our writing and everything. I'm curious to see where that'll go.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I do. It's definitely one of those things that I really do hope we go somewhere pretty significant with us. My end goal with our little writing group is that at some point in the relatively near future, one of us is going to be published. One of us will publish something, even if it's garbage.
That would be great.
Yeah. We'll see which one. Our ultimate goal is to see which one of us wins the most successes with it.
That would be an interesting writing thing for some time in the future, is we write a short story based around a specific topic, and just Steph writes the beginning, I write the middle, and you write the end. But we don't talk to each other.
That would be insane. That's like, are we not even allowed to like read the other person's work to lead into it? Like if I have the ending, I just have to write an ending and then hope it's even slightly close.
I mean, we would probably have some general beats like these are, this is the characters we're working with, this is the overarching plot, something like that. Just so it's not complete nonsense. But
yeah, I was going to say, like, that sounds like a nightmare, but we could make it work.
Just a really bad book. These are just 3 incomplete stories.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. It's like that one, like, Jackbox game or whatever with drawing, except somehow even harder.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Knowing our nonsense, we could probably pull it off.
Oh yeah.
We all have such unique writing styles that, like, I think we could butcher together something creative.
Oh, for sure. I want to go. I'm going to see about that in the future for future writing prompts because I want to go back to that world that I created a bit more
Oh yeah,
from the
absolutely.
first.
The
Yeah,
one
from
you
the
created in
first
that
one
first
that
one,
we
you
did.
could make a whole ass like podcast around that, my man. I'm not even kidding.
I want to do something with that. We'll see. Maybe that's another resolution. Do something with that.
And also, I also need to start writing stuff for the game you've been talking about for a while.
That's a really good resolution I need to focus on, and that's the one I really keep failing. Like anything else I throw out there is a goof compared to that one because that is my white whale where it's just I have trouble starting it.
We just got to start making some smaller things to kick out there, you know, like just some random small bits and pieces. Because, like, you know, no one starts with their magnum opus.
Oh, I know. Well, and that's not what this is either. I wouldn't think it's just something I'm interested in. But
Yeah.
I code on the side, and I've made other small things. I just never have published anything.
Well, go for it. That should be a resolution.
So-
Publish something to some kind of game site, even if it's a free little like 20-minute horror demo. You know, like because God knows there's a
Yeah.
billion of those, but there are entire channels dedicated to doing those showcases of those on YouTube. So
Right.
I think you could put something together. And if you need some writing for it, let me know. But having now heard your own writing chops, I think you'll be fine.
Why not? Yeah, I just get overwhelmed if I have too much to worry about.
Right. So yeah, just slap something silly together. That'd be a good resolution. Just publish something to a game site.
Okay.
Even if it's a fucking
look at us with
RPG, even if it's a fucking RPG maker hack, you know,
Yeah. That's what I'll do.
like screw creativity and longevity. Let's just go out there and be like, hey, it's a girl with a scary face and all these things happening, and there's a doll motif or whatever, you know, the same shit that everyone's done. Something about innocence lost or whatever, allusions to Little Red Riding Hood, yada yada yada.
Oh yeah, there's got to be themes, and also you're none of it's happening. You're crazy,
Yeah.
or it's a metaphor for your dead wife.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Listen, if mouthwashing can do what it did. To be fair, mouthwashing has some pretty insane writing around it, so I can't decry that one.
I do. It's a fairly generic story, but it has great visuals. That's what I like about it.
Yeah,
We have our resolutions. That's kind of it. We don't really do socials at the end of this one because you guys deserve a break.
Yeah, from us, you know, trying to shill ourselves. And honestly, we deserve a break from trying to shill ourselves. So,
let us rest.
Yeah, give us some peace, goddamn you. I say as if we were being hounded or anything. But, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this next year. I think, you know, like I said, my life's in a good, secure place for, you know, and it's not to say the last couple of years have been insecure, but it feels like I've actually managed to establish myself pretty decently, which is pretty nice. It's you know, and in case the antidepressants weren't a sign, you know, I've dealt with feelings of not seeming to care about what the next year holds, but now I actually do care a bit. So that's a new experience. Optimism, what a concept.
We grow. We always grow.
God damn it all. This shit. What's my favorite phrase? It was something to the effect of, you know, everyone says adult life is one thing after another. That's not true at all. The damn things overlap.
I've never heard that before.
I think it's a quote from a newspaper from like the 20s or something crazy like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of my mantra. I found it. It's like, you know, that could be good things or bad things overlapping. It's like, sure, just roll with it. It's like, I'm feeling more prepared than I have before. So looking forward to it.
Yep, you can't ask for anything better.
Yeah. I'm a married man. What the fuck else can the world throw at me? World, please don't throw anything crazy at me, please. It's like, I'll have to come visit you, Mr. Homeowner.
You'll have to. Yeah, we'll find an excuse or something.
No, I'll have to come up to that area sometime in October for a wedding, so I might try to do it around then. Hopefully sooner,
Okay.
just because to have a good get-together with you and Steph after the wedding, so.
Oh, yeah. And we should plan something like that in the summer where stuff comes to and we can just have a night of it and
True. Or if y'all want to come down here, have some time at the beach, where we live like 3 hours from it. So
Yeah. Anything like that, yeah.
anyway, we're just talking about our plans now. So
Yeah, this is nothing at this point. This
we're happy. We're happy about where our lives are at. Is our point. So it's
leave me alone.
I'm not as dreading so much of the remakes and everything in the coming year as I have in recent years. They seem to be a bit more kind of, slapping the same clothes against the rock kind of thing. So the few other unique ones that I'm a bit more excited for. So we'll have fun with that. So unless you have anything else to say, I think I'll wish our people a wonderful Happy New Year and see them sometime at the end of January, I believe, or early February. I can't remember when our next one will be.
Early February. We usually have a bit of a month.
Yep.
Off.
We'll see y'all then for, God damn it, more of these remakes. How many seasons are we up to?
8.
8? God, it's been nearly a decade.
Yeah.
It's been fun. The fact that we keep getting more of these is just kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, like we've said, it'll never end, which is good for us in a way.
What is Sisyphus if not happy? Or one must expect Sisyphus happy? I don't know the quote. Whatever. I'm tired. It's late. I thank you all for listening in on us once again. And have a good one.
This is where the fire slowly takes us out.